Good morning, everyone. It's fight day. Lord, let's talk about it.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars, should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
If you don't know, now you know. We on fight day. April 22nd is upon us, y'all. It is finally here. Put your hands together and clap it up. Put your hands together and clap it up. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? We're here on deck, man. Las Vegas is jumping still. Everybody is waiting in anticipation for the fight. You know what I'm saying? The fight. The fight is finally here. Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia is finally here to settle any type of doubt, to settle any type of, miscommunication on who the best is. You know what I'm saying, in this equation. It's a lot that's on the line, man. The one that has the most to lose obviously is the one and only Tank Davis. But first of all, big shout out to the supporters, man. Big shout out to the supporters as always, the WCS, man. And let's talk about the first in the building. Stick 'em boys and fishing sports, man. Salute WCS. Salute to you on deck, man. He is the first in the building. You feel me? Lil Flex Lewis is on deck. I ordered in advance, got my pay-per-view on deck. Respect at WCS. Salute the Flex. He's saying he's already properly prepared. He said the drinks are in the fridge chilling. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? I got the wings on pre-order. Everything is set, man. Shout out to the wild dog on deck, Captain Chaos in the building. What's good with the Chaos? The realest of the real world combat sports. Yes, sir. Salute to you. Appreciate you pulling up that Chaos. As always, brother, it is absolutely a fight that we've been waiting on for so long, man. We've been waiting on this fight for so long. Not me per se, but we've been waiting. You know what I'm saying? On the YTC, we've been talking about it since January. You know what I'm saying? Since last year. Okay, because from what was being told was that this fight may potentially come down here to Atlanta initially. And that went out the window because of court proceedings, judicial hearings, and everything else. So we just was thrown out. Man, we wasn't able to get the fight, man, down here. We was disappointed. They stepped on ATL this year. I mean, last year and this year. They stepped on us, bro. Boxing is not where it should be down here in the South. It's not. First of all, when it came down to Tank possibly coming down here, we was happy, but that went away. Then had a BLK situation that was supposed to come down here to the A. That went away. Like two strays. You know what I'm saying? They just came in, took a piss and then left. We weren't able to get the fights. But tonight is tonight. Tonight is the night, man. We have two lightweights. At least they weighed in a lightweight. We're gonna get to that. At least they weighed in as lightweights. Well, I'm gonna go off. We have two lightweights. You know what I'm saying? One is a three-weight world champion, Baltimore's own, Gervonta Davis, man, 28-0, 26 knockouts. Now I know the thumbnails say different. That's because I'm just predicting. That's all. The thumbnails say different, but I'm only predicting that he finished Ryan Garcia in the sixth. That's just my prediction. Predictions are just guesses. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's easy when the fight is, lopsided and you pretty much, it's obviously we have a clear understanding on who's going to be who. All right. I have a clear understanding who's going to be who in this fight. But since the YTC is so disloyal, you know what I'm saying? You have individuals that are just so disloyal. They know what they see on paper. But when it comes to the underdog, and it's just enough criteria out there for them to support the underdog, they will absolutely stab the fighter that has shown the achievements on paper. They will stab them in the back, man. It become axe wars in here. They come in there swinging axes and slicing and dicing. Man, they will stab the fighter who has made all the achievements, earned the credentials and everything else. They stab him in the back. And this is the perfect example of a situation going down like that, where it feels good to go against the villain. Ryan Garcia can do no wrong, man. Well, I'll tell you that. Big Blunts and boxing in the building, man. Salute to you, Blunts. What's good? What's good? Shout out to Shaw News, the Sauce Experience, aka Showtime Shaw, aka Media Marketing Agent, aka Team Tucker on deck for fight day, man. Yes, sir. On deck. The player himself, IB who I be, in the building. Salute, IB. Appreciate you pulling up. Yes, man. Let's talk about the obvious, right? Obviously, we have a fight that has gained the attention of a lot of people. And when it comes to the YTC, you got important two names out there, and it turns into a soap opera. People start to get angry for whatever reason. They start bringing things up, you know what I'm saying, that don't have anything to do with boxing. Listen, I've been on record as saying that if something's public record, you can talk about it. With this, though, we don't have Gervonta Davis who has did something, to the point where it's affected his boxing inside the ring. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm saying, like, yeah, potentially, whatever punishment he's going to get for his incidents outside the ring. Okay, I got it. And especially the other situations. Okay. But boxing is never about that. They don't go find these fighters at a Christian boys' school. They don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a part of no Christian academy, for a total of 8 years prior to. It's no prerequisites for this sport. So what I'm telling you, you got some grimy individuals competing in a grimy sport. That's pretty much how you dress that up. You have grimy individuals. I'm talking about people that came from all walks of life. It's nothing perfect. You have people who drop out of school. You have people who've been locked up, been in violent, situations where it affected them. You have guys who's had a very, very resourceful life, a healthy life. You know what I'm saying? That's where Ryan Garcia comes into play. Like, this man has kids, right? But from what I've witnessed leading up to this fight day, I've seen people just rubbing this guy down with, cocoa butter. You know what I'm saying? Pampering him. Hand feeding him. We have people out here that's pretty much worried about the way he's looking from the weigh-in. We have individuals out here worried about the way this man is looking at the weigh-in. It's a concern of theirs because Ryan Garcia, he has a little droopy eyes and he had to cut weight again. But yet when he was on stage, neither one of these guys looked like Devin Haney did in the Kambosos rematch. None of them. If I had any type of concern that a fighter was weight drain, I just didn't hear the same song and dance. I didn't see the anthem playing. Well, I didn't hear the anthem playing when Devin looked like a zombie on stage. He dried out. He dried out. But this look right here, this is just entitled, a silver spoon fed. They haven't been to the table yet. You know what I'm saying? Out his weigh-in so they can hand feed him, his fruit, his hand cut fruit. You know what I'm saying? All his specially made filleted steak, the best of the best. Premium, only premium cuts. You know what I'm saying? He's waiting for his premium cuts. That's Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? His eyes are a little droopy, and people ran with this photo. And then I hear certain channels that I ain't trying to go. I'm trying to be, man. These dudes ain't like. I'm trying to be positive today. I'm hearing too many channels that, it's just running with the draining, weight drain, bro. This is boxing. He is not the first one to ever have stipulations in a contract, bro. He's not. But if you look at this thumbnail, there's a message in it. Look at it carefully. This is the weigh-in, y'all. This is my whole preface of this thumbnail and this live. This is no belts on the line. Open your eyes just a little bit longer. Inhale and open your eyes just a little bit wider, right? Look at the stage. This is two fighters who are not fighting for a belt. Look at the amount of people that is on the stage, man. Look at that. Just take a look at how many humans are gathered for two lightweights who aren't fighting for a title. Let that soak in, man. This is real. This is something different. Real talk. This is something different. Look at the amount of people that is on the stage in Vegas, y'all. Look at how many people are on stage. Look at how many people was on stage for a fight that is a non-title affair. Just when boxing starts to let us down, right? Again, because it's a dysfunctional relationship, you run into situations like this, and it reminds you that boxing is extremely biased in its own way, and the influences that is from the fans. You know what I'm saying? It's from the boxing itself, which is a system, and within the system, you have the teams, you have the managers, promoters, and all that, and you have those fans. Some of those fans are content creators. Okay. So looking at this particular fight, people have praised and said, I'm going out there to see this fight. I'm going out there to see this. I got to see it. Once again, this is a fight with no titles on the line. Can you fathom that? It's hard to fathom sometimes, right? When you talk about, boxers saying they want to become this, they want to become that. We have a welterweight division where a fighter said he wanted to become undisputed. And we've been waiting on that fight forever. Even rumor mills that the fight will be announced on this day. That is for all the titles. But when you look at the crowd presence, y'all, look at the crowd presence in this. This isn't for a single title, man. They're fighting in Vegas. Damn near everybody's going to turn out tonight. I know people are stacking bread. I know people are stacking bread on the counter. That plastic is just being swiped and abused, treated like a little prostitute. Hey, man, they wearing that plastic out of there. Yes, that'll be $23 for that bottle of water. Yeah, 16 ounce. Yeah, go ahead. Anything else you want? No, I can't afford it. You know what I'm saying? I can't afford this. I know people spending. I know it's crazy content that's coming out. Man, salute to them. You know what I'm saying? They're going over to get the content. It's just some of us, like myself, I've been there, done that already. I have. I've been there, done that. I've been there, done that with no credentials. They deny credentials. You know what I'm saying? I put in for credentials for this fight. They must have saw my content coming from Top Rank. And they say, nah, you must have got us twisted. But look at the amount of people on that stage, man. I was just thinking, you know what I'm saying, about something that puzzled me. I was just thinking about something that puzzled me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was just thinking. I'm looking on that stage. This is a non-title fight, y'all. If you look at the green arrow, Ryan Garcia is damn near 30 feet from his opposition, who slightly shoved him, right? Who slightly shoved him, right? He's standing there. They hurry up and got him away. But the amount of people there to basically secure two lightweights that weighed in at 135 pounds right here on this stage, not heavyweights, lightweights. So you're trying to tell me they ain't a part of building this fight and trying to put all the climactic scenery together with all the moving parts? They know damn well it don't take no damn 50 to 60 people to be on the freaking stage for no lightweights weighing in. You know what I'm saying? Especially just because one is from Baltimore. The other one you don't have to worry about. He just didn't want his hair to get messed up and his eyeliner to run. He was cool. He was cool. He didn't have no problem. He was fine. But that dude that's backflipping off the top rope, they knew something was, they knew he had something up his sleeve. And look, I just look at it like we need more press conferences like Tony Harrison, Jamel Charlo, Jose Benavidez, Terrence Crawford, Floyd Mayweather, Victor Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson. It all depends on which one you want to select. We need more weigh-ins like this, man. We need more pressers like the Tony Harrison, Jamel Charlo with your classics. You know, I mean, we need more heat generated to build this fight, because a weigh-in and a presser can persuade somebody to tune in and purchase this fight. And to have that many people on stage for 235-pound guys who aren't from bad areas. Be more? Yeah, man. That's certified. That's official. That shit been like that for a long ass time. But Tank is not, this huge 6'7" fighter. He ain't coming up there looking like Sebastian Fundora mixed in with a little Zhang. You know what I'm saying? He's not that big. But they had all these dudes on there for a non-title fight. That is crazy, man. This is insane for two lightweights to be fighting tonight, and there was that many people on stage. They contributed to the melee. Absolutely. They contributed to the melee, bro. They absolutely contributed. I like it. It's not one part of that damn weigh-in that I didn't like. I liked all of it. I like the over-exaggerating of, like, you got, you know what I'm saying, Tibetan mastiffs on there running out of control, biting people. You know what I'm saying? Taking chunks of their motherfucking thigh. People losing limbs in there. No. This was a very well compact, final moment to get people to buy the pay-per-view. I like it, man. I ain't gonna lie, I like it. And you know what I'm saying? It's not too far away, y'all. Let me get to this chat right quick. I need to answer this question because I do find it. I ordered an event. I do find it from Shaw News, right? I do find this a concern of mine. I do. It said any word on the next day weigh-in yet. This has become a concern because from what was said from Oscar De La Hoya at the presser, he kind of slipped out. He kind of gave you the idea that they had to weigh in around midday today over there. It wasn't in the morning. It was supposed to be on the same day. You know, when I put it out there, it was on the same day. That's what initially came out. But I know they had to weigh late morning, something like that. Either way it goes, man. Right? Either way it goes, they're not weighing in today for 135. They're weighing in for 146. That's what they're weighing in at. Everybody seems to be so inflamed. I'm talking about yeast infection. I'm talking about vaginal irritation. You know what I'm saying? There's some inflammation going on here that I just can't understand. I cannot give them the proper diagnosis. You know what I'm saying? Without being disrespectful. Both fighters had to weigh in this morning, right? They had a 10-pound that they had to meet. Both fighters weighed in at 135. So therefore, let's say they got 11, right? They have 11 pounds and they have to come in there no higher than 146. I don't know the entire details. If they come in 146.1, are they going to be petty enough to penalize the person who came in overweight? But the restrictions was a mutual restriction. Both fighters definitely had to weigh in today. But to answer your question, any word on the next day weigh-in, I'm still waiting on that word. I'm still looking for anybody to speak on it, because right here, let me see, it should be about time for them to weigh in over there. It's heading, it's almost 2:00 over here, Eastern Standard Time. So over there it's about to be 11, about 1100. So let's see if anything comes out from it. Also, there's another question out here. Has anybody seen, like, Terrence Crawford on deck yet? You know what I'm saying? Have we seen the second half? Because some people still believe that infamous Phantom, announcement will be made regardless of what Steven Espinosa has already told you dummies. You know what I'm saying? You're still waiting and hoping that a sighting. I'm curious to know if he's going to show up too. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, Steven Espinosa was just running interference. Maybe that was the case. He doesn't have that death look face. He doesn't. He just seems like he's out of his element, Flex. You know what I'm saying? He just seems like he's a little bit out of his comfort zone. He's used to having these freaking peacock feathers, waving in his face, and people cooling him down, and people hand feed him grapes, crackers, and cheese. You know what I'm saying? Only the finest, though, the finest cheese. You know what I'm saying? Giving him glasses of wine that's been aged for years upon years. He used to being pampered, man. You know what I'm saying? Some beautiful women rubbing down his toes and everything, clipping his nails. That's why he's looking the way he does, man. He's a little bit tense from not being in that environment where he has everybody catering to him. You know what I'm saying? That seems like that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Handing him a mirror in his face. You beautiful, champ. You see, there you go. I think he has a mandatory timeline of looking in the mirror at least about 15 times a day to make sure his hair is good. His skin doesn't have any blemishes, anything that, that needs to be taken care of from the in-home spa technician. You feel me? Shout out to I Am Cam. One love to the Archbishop. WCS, the apostles on deck, in the building. Talayeth the hands and spread the good news of boxing. And yes, sir, we do need the laugh and the amen today, because I do feel, Cam, that Garcia is going to need a candlelight visual after tonight. I do believe his life will change. I'm not going to tell people how I believe and what I believe. You know what I'm saying? I do think that once he awakened, it won't be the Holy Spirit that he sees. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be an IV and the EMT. Yes, sir. And if he wakes, according to how long it takes him to wake up, he might witness Tank flipping off the back rope again and sticking the landing. That's going a little overboard, Cam. I'm just saying it's a high possibility that he may indeed crack his eyes open and see Gervonta in flight and landing on the tarmac. Shot News says some was calling this fight an exhibition because of the attention it was getting, and there was no belts on the line. It's a lot of fights that goes on with no belts on the line. You know, Gervonta's been in the division for quite some time with the WBA regular, right? So if he's gonna accommodate Ryan Garcia, who supposedly can't make 135 anymore, you know what I'm saying? And look, Ryan Garcia, he wouldn't respect the WBA regular title. He's too good for that. He's too good for that. You know what I'm saying? He's too good for that, man. Ryan Garcia, he might have that J-Lo effect going on. Well, he has to, when he's at a hotel, they have to change out the toilet, and it has to be a brand new toilet. Nobody besides him will be the only one who's sitting down and taking a shit on that toilet. I'm just being honest. I think with Ryan Garcia, man, he wouldn't want that WBA regular title. He feels good with just getting a paycheck. If that is indeed the case with them making $10+ million, damn, that's some good money, bro. For a non-title fight, that's where fighters really need to understand how to market themselves and find out how to break into the dynamic of interest for these boxing fans. You got to find a way, man. Y'all have to find, when you got fights like this, they can call it whatever they want. But if they getting paid $10+ million, that is very, very good money. That would definitely allow a fighter to hang out for the remainder of 2023 and not even fight again. I mean, that is very good money for a non-title fight. And it also pretty much, sends a message to the other champion that's in the division. What must he do? You know what I'm saying? Because if you have more belts than these two guys right here put together now, you understand me? Cam, the apostles, I just need to, repent a little bit. Now, you have another champion that has more belts than these guys has combined. And I don't think they're getting $10+ million. Non-title versus a title. The titleist who's holding all the crowns should not be the one that's chasing. They should not be the one that's in pursuit. I'm telling you. He should not. Showtime said, you the enemy now. I don't, my allies are my allies, but when it comes to the open Serengeti, this landscape is pretty damn freaky when you think about it. You know what I'm saying? You have to really look at it from a great, great distance, man, to a telescope. You have to look at these foods from a distance, man. Don't walk up on here thinking, oh, man, this seems normal. Don't do it, bro. This shit is different. Salute the Top Rank, the machine, the Top Rank, hate be real. I'm telling you, you got to look at it from a distance. I looked at it, and I say, this Vegas, it's looking pretty, tempting a little bit. And then, I was reminded why I don't support them anyway. It's all good. And then it's people over there hating anyway. You know what I'm saying? You has all these people that support certain fighters over at PBC, and they make sure they pass the word. Hey man, there's a big fight, but that WCS he put in for credentials. Make sure you deny him. He's over there top rank. He's the op. He's the op. He's the op. Don't think none less. He's the op. Okay, he's the op. Him and that other guy. You know what I'm saying? That other guy he's been with, his mans and them to be in the rafters. Man, hey, both of them deny. Reject. For real. They got down all they have us, they have our pictures up there. You know what I'm saying? With the little pen with the thumbtack in it. These are the individuals to pay attention to. They are not the no way, shape, or form enter at all. But the weigh-ins are open to the public. I don't care. They're over there top rank. If you see them at the weigh-ins and it's open to the public, escort them off the premises. I'm telling you, man. If they within the barrier, this is us. This is us. But you don't have no, you know what I'm saying? You don't have no authority, no jurisdiction. If you see them, if you don't want to do the job, you can leave. I haven't ordered a pay-per-view fight in years since Mike Tyson. So you already know how I've been watching this fight. I had to. Damn. This fight made you like that. This is breaking barriers, so to speak. You have boxing fans out here like Fletcher saying he ain't ordered a fight in a while. Whether he's being completely honest, I'm not the one to call you a lie. You know what I'm saying? But this fight right here, man, the way it's getting people's attention, I keep saying this for Tank. Tank is bringing majority of the leverage, the 85% of the leverage over here. You know what I'm saying? The last 15% of the leverage is coming from social media. Because let's truth be told, if this fight do less than 500K, them followers Ryan Garcia has a nothing. Because if they was really 9+ million followers and they really supported him, I haven't seen one IG video of him going out there and saying, okay, all you followers that support me, can you please purchase the fight? I haven't seen no freaking IG live with Ryan Garcia requesting his followers support him in this big fight, the biggest one of his life. I haven't heard anything. Have y'all? I haven't heard anything. If he has 9+ million followers, why hasn't he did a IG live to boost up the pay-per-view? Why, man? You have 9+ million, man. Why are they there? If you're not going to communicate to them directly, why are they there? People sit up here and sadly want to use Ryan Garcia's numbers. But why don't I see these guys, man, just reaching out and doing a IG live right now? Instead, you're doing an IG live with Tank and the Hype Man and talking about purses. No, man, you should freaking address your followers. I would be straight up, say, hey, I'm trying to break records. I need help from all 9+ million of my followers to purchase the pay-per-view this Saturday night. Let them know that my followers genuinely support me. So if they came in there and the numbers was extremely high, you know what I'm saying? Understanding that there is piracy, active piracy that's going on, then I think Ryan Garcia, even in the loss, his value even skyrocket even more, because they will look at the live stream he did. Because live streams, IG lives are big. You know what I'm saying? Look at how Crawford went up here and went live, and how many people clipped that up. Look how many people clipped that live stream, that IG live with Tank and Ryan. Why don't these boxers, utilize their platform a little bit more instead of just going live? They never speak to their audience, though. It's like I never hear them directly congratulate, not congratulate, but thank their followers, you know what I'm saying, for their support, and say, hey, this is the biggest fight of my career. I need for you all to come out, show out. You know what I'm saying? Show out for me. Buy the pay-per-view, man. Don't stream it. Buy the pay-per-view. We need for the numbers to go through the sky. Can you do that for me? I don't see it, y'all. Lost all the boxing on deck, man. Q, what it do, man? They said no PBC coverage for them. For real. Yeah, for real, man. You know what I'm saying? No. It's just, hey man, it is what it is. My fault. I'm working. What's good with the family? Salute to you. We see you in the building. You know, this in a sense, hold up, let me go back over here. This in a sense has a lot of intrigue to it. I like it, bro. I like the suspense, man. It's almost like an action movie. I mean, you have a lot that's about to take place, man. It really has a good barometer, a solid barometer of energy that's to it. Like this is hot right now. This is picked up in the last week amazingly. I'm not lying, man. I'm not being sarcastic in this one. This is picked up energy. And on fight week, it's unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. Look how many people was on the stage for a non-title fight. The champion, Devin Haney, he has a fight coming up with Lomachenko. And really, it's nobody that's really concerned about it. This is what fighters look at. This type of atmosphere right here is what fighters dream about, that people come out and support you the way they are now. I know it's people out here supporting Ryan Garcia that's out there in Vegas. I know people out there supporting Tank. Tank is fought outside of the grounds, the stumping grounds of Baltimore. That's what built his portfolio up. He's fought outside the grounds of Baltimore, man. So you have to add that in with his additions, his championship additions. You know what I'm saying? And congratulate him as a 3-weight world champion. Of course, there's always going to be criticism as to what he did. Yeah, he lost the belt on the scales to Francisco for a second. Okay. But if you look 8 months, I believe, 8 months down the road, he stepped in there for another title shot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's held titles. If boxing allows it to be considered a world title per the content that's attached to the belt, you can't be mad. You can't be mad at titles who are WBA regular champions and they put WORLD onto that. World. When you put world on there, then you're basically saying to the fighter that's about to fight, I'm fighting for something that's, say, it has some appraising value to it. It's a regular title, but it's a world title. Some people are very happy with becoming a regular champion. Now, it was something out here to the fact that, let me see, can I pull this out? Let me see if it's out here. Did I even download this? Let me see. I don't think I downloaded it. Okay, I did download it. Let me ask you all something. You can put a Y or an N, okay? Is this true? Is this true? Do y'all believe that is true? True or false? It's true or false? Gervonta Davis 12 title fights and Ryan Garcia 0 title fights. Where I got this from was, of course, someone that wasn't truly a Tank fan. You know what I'm saying? Been complaining about the freaking weight drain, the weight cut, rather to my he was weight drain. And then they say Ryan Garcia title fights, he has 0. Is that entirely true? Does anybody in the chat, could you help me understand? What did he fight Luke Campbell for? What was his fight with Luke Campbell? Wasn't it somewhat the same as Lomachenko fight with Luke Campbell? But the fact that Lomachenko and Luke Campbell was fighting for a vacant WBC world title, right? The super title, right? But didn't Ryan Garcia fight Luke Campbell for the vacant WBC interim? I could have sworn that is considered a world title, right? I know it's an interim, but isn't it considered a world title? Am I right or wrong? You know what I'm saying? It's somewhat similar to what Lomachenko fought. Luke Campbell for. And then Luke Campbell turned back around and was in a fight with Ryan Garcia for the WBC interim world title. Am I right or wrong? I might be off. You know what I'm saying? It's considered a title fight, but they putting out propaganda to downplay some of the aspects of what's going on with this fight when it comes to Tank. They want to sit up here, oh man, he's weight draining and he's fighting an easy opponent. Hey, boxing allowed this fight to be important. The consumers will allow this fight to become a part of history if they truly support it. You know what I'm saying? If the consumers truly support it, they will participate in this fight being a part of history. Why? Because they're going to purchase the pay-per-view. Now it's 80 something. So if you truly support this fight, you're going to do what you have to do. But who cares about how many titles Ryan Garcia has fought? I mean, we have fights all the time where fighters link up with, champions, and they have a lopsided affair when it comes to what they've achieved in their career. We know that already. Why are they sitting up here thinking about it all of a sudden like it's relevant? No, don't think about it now. Don't think about it. I mean, boxing have ebbs and flows when it comes to the good and the bad, man. We just have a lot of soft ass people that's up here wanting to whine, bitch, and complain about Tank's stipulation. You know what I'm saying? That's all. See, most of what they was talking about with Tank was outside the ropes because he was backflipping his ass off inside the ropes, right? But now, all of a sudden, they put a clause in there, and now they say, oh, yeah, okay, now we got something to talk about. And now they're running with it like it's something they never seen before in boxing. It's just soft, man. It's a real talk. It's kind of like some bitch assness, man. It's kind of like the bitch assness is coming out. The bitch assness is showing his face, man. Yeah, Bunts. That's a title, interim or not. Luke Campbell had 2 WBC fights, man, with 2 prominent names, so to speak, in the lightweight division. Lomachenko's for the vacant, the belt that Devin ended up getting, and then Ryan Garcia had a fight with Luke Campbell for the WBC interim. You know what I'm saying? So, man, they can say what they want to say. Shout out to Coach, man. True Media today. USA Boxing in the building. What's good, man? He said, drop the Addy at WCS. What's good? What's good, Coach? I think the Addy, I don't know if the Addy is if you're talking about the Addy is the link. You know what I'm saying? If so, there go the link, Coach. You know what I'm saying? Little flex, $84.99. God damn. Look, y'all can say I'm lying, man, but I'm not. I said if people are worried about the consumer, worried about the price and inflation on the economy, what they need to do for Crawford and Spence is to what? Jack up the price. Well, guess what? They did it for this. We don't have Crawford Spence yet. For this fight right here, they jacked it up to $84.99. Deontay Wilder's fight wasn't in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney and Lomachenko fight wasn't in the 80s. But they jacked this fight up, man, for a non-title fight. It's absolutely crazy. I'm saying, like, you sit here and think about it, you say it is certain avenues like this that can be driven by a fighter if they play it right. Like, if they do all the right things, they can get to this point where they can have fans come out, support them, and they can make a pretty good bag. But they have to build themselves up in boxing. I don't know the template. I don't know the formula for these fighters to build up to have a moment like we seen with Ryan Garcia. I know what it is with Tank. Tank hasn't had an easy road in boxing to get to this point. But he has proven that he can go in there on pay-per-view and move the room. He's shown that he can move the room. He can go in there and have people standing up. He can go in there and have people on the edge waiting on the knockout. He has the Mike Tyson effect going on. he does give you that. Oh man, here it comes. Here it comes. Only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. How many people was sitting there waiting on Rolly to make one mistake before he got caught? You know what I'm saying? Come on, they was waiting on that. He says, I have people hitting me up from everywhere telling me they're hosting fight parties for this fight. My city is lit about the fight. Hey man, I can only believe it. All I'm saying is, coach, enjoy that. This is somehow, some way a part of history, bro. I'm talking about in a way that it has no titles, but it's about to go down. If the numbers come back right, this fight is about to go down in the record books for something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is, but it's about to go down in the record books for something. You feel me? Shout out to Coach Malachi in the building on deck. What's good with it, Coach?
Hey man, it is what it is. Can you hear me?
Good. You crystal, man.
I just want to make sure I'm getting ready to leave and go to another barbershop. Man, I just left the barbershop, man. You know, I have two barbershops I go to, a black barbershop and a Dominican barbershop, right? So I alternate between, you know, barbers from there, and the barbershops are packed. They had the TV on ESPN. They had the TV on you know, just the sports, and they should they was watching Tank Davis hit the punching bag. So a lot of people go, bro, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. I have not, and what this what I don't want to do. Well, let me say this before I forget. I have not seen this kind of electricity for a fight since Wilder when he fought Tyson Fury, the second fight. You know, that was big because the Wilder Fury second fight, because it was so racial. That's what Wilder had to this day on their Radio Raheem, and he fought on Black History Month. A lot of people threw fight parties that, you know, here in the city, and I lost $300 betting on Wilder. I was like, man, why they gonna knock that motherfucker, man? And he was like, look to this day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey man, so but I just had a guy hit me up for West Palm Beach. He said, man, his barbershop is hosting a fight party for this fight.
Bomb Squad!
So you know what I mean, and I think it was and I think it was also I think when Canelo went for undisputed against Caleb Plant, that was pretty big too in the Hispanic community, because Canelo was going, you know, the way they hyped it up, and you know, Canelo going for undisputed, it has never been done before in the super middleweight division, yada. So that was huge.
How do you rate both of those types of energy? The Canelo and Caleb Plant and this fight right here. You know what I'm saying? How do you rate it?
I ain't gonna lie, man. You know, I'm gonna tell you why I would probably maybe rate this bigger. I'm gonna tell you why.
Oh snap! Because they saying the winner gonna be the face of boxing, coach.
No, I'm gonna tell you why. This is a non-title fight. Canelo fought Caleb Plant. He was a no-name guy. Didn't nobody really know who he was outside of the PBC. You know what I mean? Fan base. Wasn't nobody talking about Caleb Plant. But the significance of that fight, it was a historic moment because it was for undisputed. Wilder Fury was big because you know the first fight was controversy. Fury got dropped. Some people say that the referee was a lone count and he rose from the dead like the Undertaker. So that and then I think it was a year or so went by, a couple of years went by before they had the rematch. So that a year or so, maybe 2 years maybe went by before they had the rematch. So that kind of, you know, built the anticipation up. And Wilder did such a great job promoting it. They made it racial. What was going on online and all that stuff there. And then Tyson Fury went on this, you know, mental health story. And, you know, I was, you know what I mean? You know, I was contemplating suicide and I was on drugs and this and that. So he got the sympathy and all that stuff there. But for this fight to be just right there with those guys, and it's a non-title fight. I want you to think about this. It's a non-title fight. You know, get what I'm saying? And they fighting at a catch weight of 136, but it's bringing in a different, a different fan base. It's bringing in what I like to call social media boxing fans. You know, because you have I put boxing fans in 3 different categories today. You have the hardcore boxing fans like me and you and yourself. You have the casuals. they casually, depending on what the moment is, they get excited about certain fights, yada, 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 yada. Then you have the social media boxing fans. Those are the guys, they're going to stream the hell out of stuff, but they get hyped up. They believe in the hyperbole. They ride the wave. They're part of the, the culture, the hip hop culture, and this and that. And, they tank from the hood and yada, yada, yada. And we're going to ride with that. And Ryan Garcia brings in, even though Ryan Garcia is from the hood as well, he's from Victorville. A lot of people don't know nothing about Victorville. Victorville is a rough city. You know what I mean? It's a drug infested city. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people think Ryan is, but
we talking about methamphetamines. We talking about the synthetic drugs, or we talking about the social drug cocaine?
The meth. It's like meth. A lot of gangs is there as well from LA and stuff like that.
So Ryan might be gang affiliate. We don't know it, huh? He might what?
No, I don't think so. He didn't grow up like that. I mean, he didn't really grow up like that. And then Ryan, and see, this is the thing too, right? Bro, like when you got people my age and our age, and they talking about this fight, and you got people in their 30s talking about this fight, 40s and 30s talking about the 30s and 40s talking about this fight, people in their 20s talking about this fight. It's not just, it's just people Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis age talking about this fight. No, it's people in their 50s talking about this fight. And bro, I just spoke to my cousin, and he live in Atlanta with you. He retired military, did 30 years. I think my cousin is born in 67, so he's 7 years older than me. He's 56 years old. He talking about the fight. He don't even watch boxing like that.
Damn.
You know what I mean? He like, yeah, cuz, who you got? I say, I told him who I had and stuff like that. And, and bro, like the energy is different in my city. Like, it reminded me of when Mike Tyson used to, go fight, how we used to throw fight parties. Everybody go to the barbershop. The women go to the beauty salons to get their hair done. Cause you go to the mall and buy your outfit cause you want to look good for the party. This, look good for the fight party. This fight right here has that. That's what this is. This fight is reminiscent of what I grew up when I came up in the 90s and we used to do the fight parties, and even in the 80s do the fight parties. This is reminiscent of that. And this is a non-title fight.
I'm looking at it like I understand what Tank brings to the table. Yeah. I understand Rank is the social media popularity king at this point in time for this weekend. I'm still lost as to why the attraction is the way you speak about it. Like I'm just trying to find out. Where is it because boxing fans are used to being starved? And because we did get the David Benavidez, Caleb Plant, but it was a disappointment because he was holding all the time. I think with this fight, they feel like it's a little bit different electricity that's going to be attached to it. Yeah, it's amazing how this fight has picked up energy this fight week, man.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Tank Davis couldn't have done this by himself, even though Tank is huge, but he's never done anything like this to this level now. And Ryan Garcia has never done a pay-per-view. I take my hat off to Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. It took both of them because let's say this fight do 600, 700, 800,000 pay-per-view buys. I don't want to. You know what I don't like to do? I don't like to take away from the opponent. The reason why I don't like to take away from an opponent is because you tear down the guy who end up winning the fight. You get what I'm saying? So
that's boxing. That's a boxing habit, though.
Yeah, you're right about that. WCS. It took Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis to come together to create this type of electricity.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that the Spencers, the Crawfords, the Jamal Charlos, the Andrades, they look at this, and they say, you know what, man? And this is why I always say this. I'm not a believer in fighters hiding behind their advisors, hiding behind your promoters, or waiting on Canelo. You can create your own excitement, create your own big fights by fighting each other. Me and you came up in the era, WCS, where black fighters used to fight each other. I'm pivoting a little bit. So all this stuff about, man, black, black on black fighting, that don't really sell. That's bullshit because we came up in the era where the black fighters fought each other. In the 80s, so Hagler fought black fighters. Sugar Ray fought black fighters. Hearns fought black fighters. You know what I mean? Tyson fought black fighters. Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe, Holyfield, James Lights-Out Tony, Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones, they fought black fighters. So this whole thing, well, black fighters, they don't fight each other. They want to fight the Mexican because that's where the money is. BS, because we came up in the era where black fighters fought each other. And instead of sitting around waiting on Canelo, and regardless of how you feel about Canelo, I don't care nothing about that. I'm not part of the Canelo defense team, but Andrade and Jamal should have been fighting each other. You know, Andrade and Daniel Jacobs should have fought each other. The black fighters should have fought each other. Crawford and Spence they should be on a trilogy right now. Instead of saying you're on the wrong side of the street, or we got to call Al, or your baby mama got to be bow-legged. They could have created the electricity. You know what I mean? And it's like Tank and Ryan come together. And even though Ryan has ducked, I think he ducked 3 fights in 2021. Let's not forget that. And
he recovered, and he recovered nicely, Coach, from that ducking too.
Well, he bought one. I don't know if I consider a duck because he broke his hand. He broke his hand and he did have surgery. So, but yet and still, that's that stigma there with him. But they came together and created. This electricity. So, regardless of what happened in the past, fact of the matter is Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis is here, and I'm hoping that all of those fighters who are going to be there. I'm hearing next Crawford is going to be there, Spence is going to be there, and all these other guys. I'm hoping that they look at this and say, you know what, man, we should create our own electricity, man, and do this and make this happen.
And that's what I was going to say to you. Like, I think other fighters prior to this was looking at this fight and looking at how many people showed up, and they can look at it all they want. But I think the only connection that it brings to them is to make the fight. Not every fighter is going to bring the personality, because somebody said on the show last night that Terrence Crawford is a low-key introvert. He don't talk much. Errol Spence don't talk that much. He's a low-key introvert. But when it comes down to them making the fight, they looking at this, and I think this is kind of motivating other fighters that should be in this position to say, we need to fight each other. Like, for instance, Coach, I don't know if you heard, but Jamal Charlo and Demetrius Andrade supposedly has spoken on the phone for over an hour to finally make a fight that he was going around here saying, I don't want to fight him. I don't want to fight him. You know what I'm saying? But today we have 2 fighters that is bringing in all this freaking attention, and everybody's talking about it. This is going to raise the level of stock for both fighters. So right. I know there's some other names out there, including Spence and Crawford, who's looking at this and saying, can we emulate this? Can we do this too? I mean, you know what I'm saying, Coach?
Oh man, WCS, you hit the nail right on the head. And Crawford is more of a what I call it, not an alpha male, but a sigma male. He's more of like a lone wolf type guy. He is introvert. Really, he's not. When I met him, he was laughing, kicking, and all that stuff. But
I'm talking about to the public, though.
To the public. And I told him, I say, listen, man, and I listen, work WCS. I promise you, my brother, I'm not being arrogant or cocky and not toot my own horn. But I feel like someone like me with my type of personality, I should be for hire for someone like a Spence or a Crawford. I'm gonna tell you why. Because there's a level of energy that I bring in hype and electricity and trash talking and bravado. And, you got to know how, and I think it's because I come from a background of sales, but it's not just that. This is my character and personality, but you got to have a storyline. Crawford and Spence have a storyline that they can really tap into. If they really know how to work this, they have a storyline that they can really tap into. And the angle that they can take is, man, I came in the welterweight division in 2017 after 2017 after I became undisputed. I fought Jeff Horn. I beat him. I won the belt. I was calling you guys out. You told me to get a belt first. When Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao, you guys said Jeff Horn, you was calling him out, you and Keith Thurman. And then as soon as I come up and beat him, then all of a sudden y'all don't want the belt anymore. Then you guys try to diminish me. Like the storyline is wonderful. And then I would use all of the hate that Crawford was receiving online from the signing contracts, top ranked Tobies. There's word that you guys was paying operatives on YouTube to try to tear down my character and diminish my character and destroy my image to justify to justify decking me. You get what I'm saying? You've been decking me, bobbing and weaving, shucking and jiving. You got, like, bro, like, the storyline is beautiful. They can really rekindle all of that. And then Spence can say, look here, man, you were too light in the ass. You know what I mean? You was with Bob, yada, 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 wrong side of the street, this and that, this and that. And then Crawford can say, well, look, I don't want to hear nothing about wrong side of the street because, we seen Fury and Wilder fight each other. So basically, you guys was hiding behind your advisor, Al Heyman, trying to decking me. And then Spence can sit back and say, well, you can't sell nothing. You unpopular. Don't nobody like you. This and that, this and that. And they can create that electricity and excitement and animosity and create and put lightning in the bottle. They can rekindle that, but they got to hit it right. They have to hit it right. You get what I'm saying? And when you selling this stuff, man, it's your tonality, it's your pitch, it's the tonality in your voice. And now Crawford and Spence, that's not who they are. But that's where you bring me at. You get what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? And but listen, I don't know what you're talking about, man. After the car accident, you know what I mean? Spence got in a car accident, man, and and this and that, and that helped derail things. I said, yeah, he got in a car accident, but let's not get it twisted. He got into a self-inflicted car accident. Y'all talking like when he got in the car accident, he was just driving home, whistling Dixie, driving Miss Daisy, and somebody just hit him and made him get in an accident. No, he was drunk, leaving the club, allegedly got in a high speed chase or speeding down the road, and he flipped his car over by himself. So I understand the sympathy that he got in the car accident, but let's not forget that the car accident was self-inflicted on himself. He did that to himself. That's one. And two, him and Crawford could have fought before the car accident. They could have did that. I don't want to hit no cleanup. I want to clean up my side of the street. You could have fought Crawford, beat him, took his belt, and your side of the street was still going to be there because the other guys were champions in your weight division was with the PBC. So it was, and they was fighting in-house fights. So it's not like they was going anywhere. So this whole thing that wrong side of I had to clean up my side of the street first, that's some BS because your side of the street was always going to be there because they was always going to be there because they had the belts anyways. You could say, look, I'm going to go ahead and fight this little skinny dude from Omaha, Nebraska who just moved up. He too light in the ass. I'm going to beat him and then rekindle that moment when they met each other, at the Mighty Mo Hooker fight with Bob Arum and in the back when rekindle that when Ellie sat back recorded that got millions of views. I think over 1 million views. Like bro, like the storyline, they got a beautiful storyline. But hopefully, man, Showtime them. Bro, if they listen to me, I know I ain't nobody, but I'm just saying though to them. But I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, man, you can create that twisted. And the reason why you're going to have to do that, WCS, I'm gonna tell you why. Because this fight is long overdue, and a lot of people are fed up with Spence Crawford, and they don't think the fight gonna happen and all that stuff. There, it's long overdue. So you got to tap back into those emotions. And play revisionist history and tap back into those emotions to get the people excited about it. You know what I mean? It's a wonderful story, man. I'm telling you.
I agree with what you said as far as, bringing your energy to the table. But what I do know, Coach, is a lot of these black fighters aren't willing to take a risk to build a fight. Let's just say with a newcomer like yourself, because I agree. Like I can talk on him, but I'm not the motivated type. Anybody tell you in person, I don't talk much like that. I mean, if I'm there with you, whatever, we working, cool. I'm talking, but I agree with what you're saying to build up, and it's a grand idea, man. It's kind of genius idea because John King, he used to be the centerpiece. He was up there waving the flag. He had the hair and everything, and Don King used to talk his shit, right? But that has since went away. You don't have somebody up there talking that can fast talk, say what you want to hear, and keeps the crowd attention. But it has to be the fighters that's willing to take a risk on you, Coach. Black fighters don't like bringing new people to the scene. What if he brings you on? Y'all been communicating. What if Crawford brings you on and kind of have you build up this fight? Because it's going to be a lot of promo for this fight whenever it happens. What if it does happen and you're able to bring that attention and attraction? Then maybe once again, we'll have other fighters looking at this like, oh man, this ain't that bad. Look what Tank did. Tank over there with the dude Kai or whatever that was hyping up the stuff with him and Ryan. And that video went viral.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing you just mentioned. You're not going to be like the little kid, but still you can talk your shit when it comes to building up this fight with Crawford and Spence. But the black fighters have to be willing, you know, like Crawford, they have to be willing to introduce themselves to somebody new like yourself. You know what I'm saying?
You know
they
what I'm
have
gonna
to
do?
be willing to take that step, bro.
Yeah, I totally agree. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do it anyways. I'm gonna do it anyways for Spence and Crawford. I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just do it on my show. I'm gonna do it on my show. You know, I do get a lot of eyeballs. I mean, I don't get the numbers that the Blue Bloods and those guys and the Nessa Gills and them get, but I have.
Go stop playing, dog. Stop playing.
No, I'm serious. I don't. They getting.
Bro, you do. You getting just as many numbers as they get, man. I know you being humble and all that.
No. I'm not being humble. Like when Blue drop a pre-recorded video.
Okay, a pre-recorded.
Yeah, the pre-recorded. The recorded videos they do better than me in that. But I will say that my live shows are captivating because the Timothy Bradleys come through. I didn't even know that was really Timothy Bradley until I found out. Now that was Timothy Bradley came through, dropped me $100 and told me, "Yeah, man, keep talking about
my name in your mouth."
Keep my name in your mouth. I didn't think that was him, but no, that was really him. I confirmed that was really him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Booger Ray Leonard. I talk trash about Booger Ray. He subscribed. He followed me on Twitter. I confirmed like a lot of these big dogs in his boxing who they watch me. They watch me. You get what I'm saying? Because from Doug to Ring Magazine, of Steve Kim, who opened up the doors for a lot of that stuff, to the dudes from Fight Hype, to Boxing Scene. What my guy name from Boxing Scene? Like they be hitting me up. Like they hit me up in DMs on Twitter and stuff like that. So they watch.
You gotta be willing. What did I tell you about Crawford? It's gonna do what? If you're able to do it, get them on your show, and it's gonna go through the roof. It's gonna be viral.
Yeah, I got him. Listen, I'm working on that. I promise you,
you gotta get Crawford on your show, man.
I promise you, I'm working on that. I promise you, I'm working on that, man, because I'm telling you, bro, it's gonna be key. Because because I'm gonna do this for him and Spence. Like I'm gonna do my job. I know you're gonna do your job. The content creators gonna do their job. But like listen, bro. Like if you do this like this, I'm telling you, man. Like this gonna work. I'm gonna do it anyways. Whether you allow me to do it for you or not, I'm gonna do it on my show anyways. Because I can create that. I can create that now. You get what I'm saying? Because with the people who we know, like yourself and stuff like that, and the people that's in the industry, it's gonna be beautiful. I'm gonna do it because I already said I'm gonna do it. I'm like, nah, man, let's fight too big. The magnitude, we can create the electricity all over again. 2 black fighters, like I'm with you. I'm with you on WCS. The thing that pissed me off about this whole Crawford Spence thing and what was going on YouTube, why we didn't come together and say, man, these are 2 black fighters that are going to fight each other. Why we didn't want to see our 2 brothers get money together? Why we had to choose sides?
Yeah.
We got to tear one down in order to build the other one up. And this dude here, this and that, yada yada yada, and blah. That squad say, man, these 2 dudes got an opportunity to come together and make a boatload of money together. You see what I'm saying?
I agree.
We supposed to encourage that. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like, oh my God, I like with Crawford, like, man, you got the Midge Minor, which was his trainer. Not before Bo Mac. Bo Mac was an assistant. Yeah. But Midge, who passed away, like that angle there, like the storyline with Midge. And bro, I got some questions. That because I wasn't able to do it alone, but I got some questions and stuff, man, and stuff that I'm gonna bring out that's really going to, that ESPN haven't even touched on. And I'm like, damn, they dropped the ball on this, and they haven't even touched on. He was over there. Like it's wonderful. At the end of the day, I care about the sport of I like the sport of boxing more than I love an individual fighter. Whether it's Crawford, Spence, Tank, I don't care nothing about that. Because before I even knew who they were I was in love with boxing. And when they leave and retire, I'm still be in love with boxing. So this ain't about no one fighter with me. far as I'm concerned, ain't none of them Hagler. You know how much I love Hagler.
Yeah.
Or Sugar Ray Leonard, or Sugar Ray Robinson, my favorite fighter of all, great fighter of all time. Roy Jones, ain't none of them, none of that. So I never put any of them in that category. That's where I'm at with it. But in today's time, I'm like, man, these dudes, the Jamal Charlos, the Crawfords, the Spence, and I got love for those guys, but you know, the Andrades, Jamel doing his thing, he undisputed. But a lot of these guys, they dropping the ball. And now Devin Haney's undisputed. He's fixing to fight Lomachenko. That's a big fight. Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, they setting it off. Those two. So what I'm hoping is this Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia fight would be a hairpin trigger to open up doors for these other fighters to come together. Stop hiding behind your promoters. Stop hiding behind A side, B side. Stop hiding behind your advisors. And stop doing that and say, look, man, let's come together and create our own magic. It may not be bigger than Ryan Garcia and Tank, but it can be big. You know, it can be big within the confines of what we're doing from a historical standpoint. Because, you know what I mean? And get the fans excited about something. Of course, there's levels to this, but it can still get to that point. You know what I mean? You know, that's what
if you can find the I wouldn't say the perfect message, but the defining message for these black fighters to stop disallowing other black fighters that have a name like them that can potentially be big fights they can make big money off of. If you can find a message to have some type of influence to allow them to support one another for business, you know what I'm saying? If we can get the business aspect of black fighters want to do business with us, you know, it'll be great, because right now they be tearing each other down. Like you said, the YTC should have been bigging up this fight, but yet they support Arrow heavy, but yet they didn't talk about Arrow. They talked about Bud.
Yeah.
You know, we have big name fighters, the Charlos and everything. Every time Crawford mentioned, okay, I want to challenge you for this, they say, nah, what is this little guy? What is this? But all along, you have three of all black fighters, Errol Spence and both the Charlos, calling out Canelo. What does that say? The Latino fighters are still winning. The Latino fans are still winning because they always have the black fighters with the name calling them out. You know what I'm saying? Not so much Bud though, but I'm talking about from Arrow to both of the Charlos, man. All they want to do is get in the ring with Spence. I mean, get in the ring with Canelo. And then they want to blacklist freaking Demetrius Andrade, which could bring a pretty decent fight right now. You know what I'm saying? Andrade is getting old. You know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden, they see what's going on over there at PBC. I think Al Heyman is making these dudes pretty much, you know, say, hey, we got to get some big fights. So now the news is out that they was on the phone for an hour. But yet, several months ago, they were still blackballing Andrade, man. They were saying, I don't want to fight him because he didn't do good business. And then we already know what's going on with Crawford and Spence, you know. But I don't know, from your visit up there in Omaha, did you get any sound bites? You know, if you interview Crawford that you could use to try to build up this fight too. You know what I'm saying? Because
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get any sound bites.
Okay.
He physically showed me something. You know what I mean? And I can't say it because it'd be, you know what I mean?
I got you. I mean, I feel you.
Yeah. He physically. So I'm like,
but it would be cool if you can cross over to that level of respect with him, because he is reclusive when it comes to letting new guys in or media dealing with media. But for this fight, they need to do something different, in my opinion.
I gotta sell myself. I'm gonna sell myself to him. You know what I mean? Like, listen, man, bro. Like, you know, I'm gonna just let him know. Look, man, I'm good at what I do. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm good at what I do, man. If you allow me to do this, I promise you, we're gonna create the excitement, the electricity for this fight online. I'm gonna do my job. I promise you that. You know what I mean? And you know, I mean, just give me the opportunity. You know what I mean? I'm humble myself. Just give me the opportunity, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm good. I got something I'm working on right now. I think he's gonna like it. You know what I mean? And look, this is what I'm talking about. I kind of like. I loved what I was able to do with Kid Austin. Because when I got invited to that training camp in San Antonio, his father was like, "Look, I'm gonna let you get. I'm gonna let you get all the footage you need." Yeah. You get what I'm saying? And Kid Austin doesn't like to talk. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but he's
his dad do all the talking for him mostly. Yeah.
hey, WCS, all in the videos.
Yeah, all his videos like Diddy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, man, listen, I say, Pop, man, look, I'm trying to talk to the kid. You know what I mean? Yeah, but he not gonna answer that, and he don't know this and that, bro. Like you have no idea how much footage I had to omit because
God,
you know,
dang,
bro. Yeah.
Grown ass men, bro.
Hey, you know, oh, Keyshawn's that boy's a coward. You know what I mean? He ain't called my phone, yada yada. So I got that. I was able to get that sound bite when he said Keyshawn the coward. I'm trying to get that bite right there. You get what I'm saying? So with Bud, you know, with Bud, you got to catch him when he's happy, laughing. They really don't like cameras, you know what I mean? And they really don't trust people like that. So
but he had the backside of his career, coach.
Yeah,
you know, all the subliminal
subliminal
tweets kind of irritated me, even from Bud a bit, because you know, you're gonna get mad at the YouTubers, and I understand you have a reason to be mad at a portion of the YouTubers that put out clickbait and bad information. But what I'm saying is, for this fight, you're on the back end of your career. Potentially, your next 3 fights are going to be huge for Terrence Crawford per se, and Spence, but more so Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, both of them.
He needs to allow somebody access.
Spence and Crawford need each other right now. I don't
they
care
need
what
each other, but they need something different.
Yeah,
they need more about this different. If you have a plan and you're deriving a plan so this can bring in more attention, you know, it'll be great if he just allow himself to just put down all the you know, security measures that you used to have in your career that has somewhat hindered you as far as the money you could have made as being, you know, a little bit user friendly with the media. If you allow that to happen, just allow, you know what I'm saying, coach, if he allow you into that and you can talk your shit, you know, to build them up in promo, I think it'll help in a positive outlet on YTC especially.
Oh yeah. I absolutely. And the thing is, you know, the thing is with me, none of the stuff that I do is scripted. This is just coming off the dome. I know. I used to, you know, I don't know if you know, I used to be a rapper back in the day. I was a freestyle. I was a battle rapper back in the day.
I thought you was gonna say you was with Full Force with Jericho. You like to do that Jericho back in the day. You weren't with Full Force back in the day. You still wearing the fro too, coach. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know, what can I say? You know,
yeah.
Hey, remember what's happening? Hey. You know what I mean? I step up every time, bro. I'm trying to tell you, listen, bro. I'm trying to tell you, man. Scotty, I'm trying to tell you, dog. They better jump on me, right? And you said it before. You said it, but you've been saying it. You say, man, I'm telling you, coach when he take off, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I'm trying to tell you, man. When the white folks come and say, you know what, dog, check this out, baby boy. You know what I mean? We got a nice check for you. You know what I mean? We want you to do A, B, C, and D. But I'm like, listen, I can't be corporate. I'm not the corporate guy because, you know, I'm not going to follow the script. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? That's just not me. You know what I mean? But I'm saying, man, you know, we're gonna take off, you know, and I want to lift this YTBC thing. It needs to be revamped. Because there's a lot of stuff that people have been doing that's been on here for years. I'm like, man, they dropping the ball here. They dropping the ball there. There's a lot of places, and everybody's not going to come together. Let's just be real. You know, you got certain elements in the YTC that, you know, they just going to stay chitlin circuit. We don't need to have, you got to weed them out, lead them where they at. You know what I mean? But I'm talking about the core guys, the ones who are intelligent like yourself, who can articulate, and everybody has a part to play. I'm like, man, they have no idea what we would be able to do if we come together and collectivize. You get what I'm saying? Like my man, no, collectivize. You know what I mean? Like they ain't got no vision. And I'm like, man, and I'm speaking from a marketing standpoint. Bruh, I've taken every marketing course. I've learned from some of the best. Dan Locke. Billy Jean is marketing, black dude out of San Diego. Sam Ovens, white dude from the UK. Russell Brunson, ClickFunnels. What's my main man name? Cheat Holmes. David Ogilvy. Those are copywriters. What's my other man name? Gary Holbert. Bro, like the names that the average black person they ain't heard of these guys. So I'm speaking a different language, and I'm a street dude, a dude from the street. that dropped out the 9th grade of school. I dropped out the 9th grade. I'm gonna drop 9th grade and drop out. You get what I'm saying? 9th grade dropout, been to prison twice, went back and got my GED. You know what I mean? Self-educated, been through the Nation of Islam, reformed racist. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I educated myself though. That Nation of Islam, I learned a lot with that because they teach, you know, you learn different things and learn how to do research. And I was on a debate team in high school. You know what I mean? When I in the 9th grade when I was a freshman. So it's like, bro, I see it, dog. I really see it. You get what I'm saying? But I think with black people, we have an issue of working together. And again, we got to get rid of the nigga element because I hate niggas with a passion.
I mean, it's different to break that down when you have a lot of niggas on here on the YTC that was breaking down another black man. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about not just any type of breakdown. We're talking about defamation. We're talking about a smear campaign. You know, that's lighting up the torches every day. Hey, let me get the Boxing J. Boxing J, what you talking about? What's good, bro?
Hey, I was gonna add on to what you just said. Like, I know there's our own community. We can all work together, but if it's a project or it's, you know what I'm saying, somewhere we're trying to head to, if the goal's not happening fast enough, we tend to like give up on it. We don't want to give nothing time, but let it come from the opposite side. We rather just go to what they already build, but we ain't trying to build from ground up. But we rather go to something that's built and try to add our little sprinkles to it when we could own the whole thing if we just take, like you said, that collective criticism, everybody working together, and we do it from the bottom to the top. There's no reason why we couldn't. And that's why I'm seeing in a lot of projects, people give up on it. Like, oh man, I ain't getting rich in 2 days. Oh, y'all niggas bullshitting. Then they start trying to pocket watch. That's another thing. Oh, he's just trying to get money for himself. But if he winning, we winning. If he eat, you eat. So it shouldn't be a problem if he's trying to benefit himself. If he on your side, you should want him to benefit himself. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, man, because, you know, through life, right, I've seen situations where, okay, let's say a white man present a business idea, and you say, oh, well, I heard about that. This seems like a Ponzi scheme, pyramid scheme or whatever. But I can tell you, hey, come over here, Johnny, Willie. Yeah, come over here. Yeah. And they come over here with some other white guys and maybe one black guy in there and say, hey, tell him, convince him about that, you know, about, you know, my business venture, what I'm telling him about. Convince him that it's real, that it's been effective, it's been productive. And then those people talk to you. But if you get a black guy bringing in other black dudes and one white guy, right, they're going to say, you know what, okay, who kidnapped the white guy? What is he doing here? I don't believe none of y'all hustling or something. Something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have the same effect because we'll sit up here and go on a Ponzi scheme with a white guy we never met just because him dressed the way he is and who he is. But yet, if the same brother came over here with the same scheme, they'll say, man, get out of here with that scheme and shit, man. You trying to take my money? But they'll be willing to give that package, that upfront guarantee money to the white guy over here. If it costs $50, they'll say, okay, I'll give you $50. Okay, you're going to get your package. You're going to get your starter kit. If a black man attempted to do that, right off the back, he's not going to be so willing. I'm not talking for everybody. It just seems like that's the way it is. And the YTC, when it comes to boxing, we can't present anything to one another because we're not even on one accord. You know what I'm saying? We got too many channels on here that's trying to support black fighters, but it's always ulterior motives behind the scene, like somebody's being paid something, or someone has, you know, extreme bias to support this particular fighter. It's not something that's playing out organically, in my opinion. It's always like, okay, so-and-so is in the pockets of these channels right here, and they all talk about the same fighter. That's why they're getting that much attention. Or we have these channels right here dogging out Terrence Crawford. Why? Because supposedly they're being paid off to talk and tear down Terrence Crawford. So like Coach said earlier, why in the hell, how in the hell this fight is going to be one of the biggest fights ever in boxing if everybody's talking bad and ill will about one half of the two fighters that's supposed to be the biggest fight in the sport? It's never going to come together, man. It's always going to be trash.
Sorry about that. Sorry about this. I had it on mute. You know what though? It's going to take the leaders of the YTBC. When I say leaders, I look at yourself as a leader, the top guys, the Blues, everybody have their own thing and stuff like that. I do get that, but and I do get that's what I heard that's what the LDBC started. That's what they was trying to do. Well, you know what I know. Basically what I heard from 7-8 say, you know, they wanted to be a rest haven for black fighters to be able to come and don't have to deal with the racism and stuff that was going on at the time online and the Dante's Boxing Nation and stuff like that. Okay, but now I'm like, okay, we passed that now. Now there's a, you know, now the 2023, like we run this YouTube shit, the content creators. I don't care nothing about Fight Hype or, you know, ESPN, like all of them, they have YouTube channels and they're corporatized and stuff like that. But guess what? They listening to us. I'm telling you what I know.
Hey,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, just look at this fight right now that's happening. Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis. Them two dudes, opposite fields. But you know what brought them together? Social media, the creators, the big bloggers constantly making this fight build up. The fight wouldn't have been known at this magnitude, I feel like, if the bloggers didn't work so hard for years. They had them going back and forth for years. I say over 4 years or 3 years in the making for this fight right here.
But it wasn't too many people linking it up like Crawford Spence. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't linking up Gervonta and Ryan Garcia like this, because you remember people thought that Ryan Garcia was going to call out Devin Haney after he won that fight with Luke Campbell, but he didn't. He called out Gervonta. He just basically gave Devin Haney the Heisman, and people was like, "Damn, okay, he don't want to fight Devin Haney. You know, he just won the WBC interim title. He don't want to fight Devin, so he ducked Devin, and then he wanted to go to Gervonta, and then he pulls out of that fight. You know what I'm saying? Even Leonard Ellerby came on and said, you know, don't believe that shit you hearing. They ain't trying to fight us. We ain't got no paperwork. Ain't got nothing. So now coming full circle, he fight Emmanuel Targo and Javier Fortuna, and it seems like people forgot about all the ducking he did, and this fight is where it is. I don't know, man. It's a strange dynamic that played out. Real talk. Like, this is post-COVID. Maybe a little bit of COVID is still here, because people just acting strange, man. This is weird that he got away with ducking as much as he did, and people are hyping this fight as if he never ducked, you know, those fighters. He ducked Gervonta and Devin Haney, two of the biggest names in the lightweight division, bro.
Well, what it is a double standard with Ryan Garcia. That is true, and that's always going to be there. And that's just the reality of the situation. And I tell people time and time again, I say, dude, listen, I do get it. I understand, you know, the racism and the double standard and stuff like that. That's not going anywhere. But to sit back and say, you know, don't use that as an excuse for why you can't be successful, because there are too many examples of people who look like us of being successful. But I say all that to say this: what you said about Ryan Garcia, it is true. You know, he have ducked. You know, as my dog Clubber Lang would say.
But this ball been taking the easy matches, fighting other balls.
He's been taking the easy. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I've been ducking and stuff like that. But the thing is, you know, he played the mental health thing. But he has that clean cut image, and I think that's what it is. You know, he reminds me of a young Oscar De La Hoya, the Golden Boy, minus the Golden Boy accolades, but that's how they, you know, he has this aura about himself. You know, he's clean cut, he's corporate. You know, he has endorsements.
I mean, everybody can't be pretty, coach, man. Everybody can't be pretty.
Gatorade, you know, with Gatorade, he's popping on social media, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. You know, he has the image, he can articulate. You know, it's that's what it is with him. He has that world, and so someone like that is always going to get the, oh man, well, you know, Ryan, he really didn't. You know, they're gonna forget about that. You get what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You know, But as Floyd Mayweather would say, WCS, and I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. But we're hearing. Well, let's focus on the here and now, my brother. I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, he did Decketh a couple of years ago, but brother, that's the past. Why you keep bringing the past up? Let's focus on the present, the moment, brother. Collectivize and galvanize and draw from the energy that you're feeling from the moment right now, brother. That's all I would say, my brother.
Say, Coach, it's crazy that you say that because if you watch all the press.
Hey, Boxing J, hold on for a second. Hey, Boxing J.
Okay.
Boxing J, I gotta ask you a question. Is this Cam?
No.
What's your Jalen? Okay, my bad. You just sound like Cam to me. Go ahead, brother. I was just trying to get familiarization with you. That's all.
Oh yeah, you good. Yeah, for sure. What I was gonna say, check this out. Ryan Garcia understands. It's obvious. He knows he has more fans than Tank. He's the more liked. And I'm gonna say, when I say he's the more liked, I've seen people that never watched boxing in the last 4 or 3 years. They wouldn't tell you who the last 10 fights that happened over the last 2 weeks. They wouldn't be able to tell you because they don't watch boxing. But he has a lot of people from outside of boxing rooting for him. And when you got that talent, any promotion would love to have a guy like Ryan. He's likable to TikTok viewers, YouTube viewers, Instagram, kids that came up. He looked like them. He kind of looked like the average. He doesn't give you that boxing appearance. And that's why he doesn't have to be aggressive, over-aggressive like Tank. Tank even said, oh, yeah, you trying to pay me to be the villain. He basically really is paying him to be the villain. Because, hey, Tank's going to come out here, talk smack, and I'm going to just handle him in the ring. But it's like you don't have the skills, you don't have the utensils to eat. So what meal is he really going to be consuming in the ring? He know he can't, but he has the charm. The charm is the only thing that's been working in his favor these last couple weeks, in my opinion.
I feel you on that, man. Tank is always going to be the villain. So when he went off on Bernard Hopkins the way he did, I really didn't feel no type of way about it because Bernard is part of Golden Boy. I get it. But Ryan Garcia was on the opposite side. Bernard was over there on Tank's side. So this is how I looked at it. 2 things about that. Bernard was going to make a point to be over in Tank's space from all the trash talking or whatever. This was the opportune time to make it a little bit more controversial with all those people out there. So a part of me says that it was planned for Bernard to go to get on that side and reach out and touch him the way he did and have him go off the way he did just to hype up the presser a lot more than what it was for real, because your fighter is over here standing across from Gervonta. You're all the way right there by his side. Who allowed B-Hop to be that close to Tank? Who? Everybody else was all in between, shoulder to shoulder, belly to belly and shit. Nah, this ain't gonna happen. And then B-Hop is right there next to Tank, right there. And he reached out there, and then Calvin said, you don't have to touch him now. You don't have to touch him. I mean, that didn't even seem right, but it got the effect that they desired. You know what I'm saying? Tank ended up going off on B-Hop. It became a part of the post weigh-in, interview. Did I not like it? I liked it, man. Any controversy is good controversy. Selling the fight for $86 or whatever the case may be. No doubt. What up, Blunts? What up, Captain Chaos?
Yes, sir. Hey, what's good? I just wanted to pop on real quick and say salute, to the OGs, Combat, and Coach. You know what I'm saying? Jay, what's the deal? Chaos, what's the deal? Hey, look, real quick, because I'm in the mobile headquarters, I'm getting to the money right now. I'm watching the Matchroom card, the Rackamala Cordina card. I'm in the car and all that, but it's raining and thunderstorming and all that. Listen, I'm happy to see both fighters made weight the second weigh-in, right? 144.
Yeah, you said it was 144, right? Yeah.
Sure. Right, respectively. But Combat, you was right, man. You was telling Tony, the tweet say both fighters can now pack on as much weight as they want to up until it's time to get in the ring tonight. So dude said right before they getting ready to walk to the ring, it was gonna be a weigh-in. That was incorrect. That's just not true. You know what I'm saying? And we could lay that to rest. We could, because we was trying to tell him, you was trying to tell him, you know what I'm saying? And he was just arguing that point. Next time he slide through, I'm gonna make sure if you don't, you know what I'm saying, that he know that, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, my man, you was wrong last time you slid by here. And also the B-Hop touching Tank thing. Listen, man, like B-Hop should know better. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, what you touching me for? You know what I'm saying? First of all, why you over here? Second of all, why is you touching me? Like, you supposed to be over there. You know what I'm saying? And don't put your fucking, when Tank, I've seen videos of Tank mad and upset before, and people have tried to grab onto him and touch him, and he wows out like, don't touch me. You know what I'm saying? Let me go.
Tevin Farmer situation. The Tevin Farmer situation.
B-Hop was wrong for touching Tank. He shouldn't have been over there. He shouldn't have touched him. And I also saw a tweet go around. I don't know if y'all can elaborate on this because I don't know too much about it, but somebody said for them to watch out for testosterone cream because it can make you test positive or some shit. So it was something to the effect that they thinking maybe B-Hop could have rubbed something on Tank's back. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Like, that possibility as well. You know, you get up and then you rub some cream on his back and then it absorbs in and then you test positive, whatever. So all in all, B-Hop shouldn't have been touching Tank. That's simple.
Because it did look like he rubbed.
It was a nice, like It didn't look like a brushing type or something like he reached around and tried. Now they say he was trying to keep him from falling off the stage or whatever, but still, why are you worried about Tank? Let Tank's people worry about that. You worry about what Garcia got going on. So if he tried to get that grab and slide or some cream on his back, something, I don't know, man. You got to watch out for that. And they kind of did it like Oscar. They took turns, you know. Somebody was like, that's why B-Hop was being so quiet, and Oscar was the one. You know, they had Oscar against Ellaby, and then they had B-Hop get involved and shit. So I don't know. You know, the little conspiracies is going is running around and all that, but that's all I got, man. I'm excited, and yeah, I'm gonna get back to this card that I'm watching right here. Salute to y'all, man.
Hey, Coach. Hey, Coach, you got any final words? Coach said hey, hold on for a second. Coach said he about to get up out of here. Any final words there, Coach?
Yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is, man. I'm excited we had a fight. The YTBC. Everybody ain't gonna get along. I don't get along with some dudes. Some dudes I'm just not gonna rock with, period, no matter what. I just think that the guys who have the skill set and the talent in order to push the envelope forward, you know what I mean? We can really do some things. It's going to take some unconventional things in order to really put a stranglehold on this. Like, we really do run the block when they come here. I'm not talking about the ones who can constantly tear down the Crawfords or to tear down the Spencers or tear down the fighters. Those guys ain't nobody. We ain't worried about them. You know, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. They chitlin juice. They're not even the chitlins or the hog maws. They chitlin juice. So we ain't worried about them. I'm talking about the guys who are really doing, like, guys who really are boots on the ground like yourself, guys who really out there. You know, they can really form a coalition, so to speak. Again, weed out the niggas, because I don't care nothing about no niggas. I love black people. I hate niggas. So we weed out the niggas, focus on what we can do from a business standpoint. We can really make this pop and make it crack a lag. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you. Like, I ain't going to talk about it. I'm going to show you. And when you see it, you can be like, man, this is what he was talking about. Like, I'm really finna take it to another gear. The type of people that's reaching out to me now, like, bro, we fixing to do it. And I just want to bring spotlight to the guys who are really doing this thing on the YTBC. These fighters, man, we can really promote our fighters. You know, these black fighters, we can really do that. Even the ones who are socially awkward, like the Spencers and the Crawfords and stuff like that. Yet and still, we can really take this thing to another level. I'm just going to be the one to do it myself, irregardless of whom, what, when, or how. It doesn't make me no never mind. I'm going to do it myself, and I'm going to show it. And when I show it, then it's going to be like, oh, I get it now. You get what I'm saying? And I may end up teaming up with some people that's in the mainstream media as well. You know what I mean? But I'm hell bent on doing. One thing about me, if I say my word is my bond. You know, I come from the NOI, so you word your bond. Before I fail my word, I give my life. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. I say it, and then you're gonna watch what I do. So that's all I have to say, man. Keep it pushing, man. I'm happy we got a good fight coming up. I have another barbershop I need to hit, man, and it is what it is, man. Keep it pushing, man. Much love to everybody, man.
Hey, one love to you. True Meat is today, USA Boxing. Be sure to check him out every day at 3 o'clock, 1500 military time, man. Appreciate you, Coach.
Yes, sir. Salute to everybody.
Go ahead. Who was next? Who was next?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say about that B Hop situation. What I feel about B Hop doing
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
what I got from it was if you looked at Ryan body language, he was beaten. I don't know if you ever heard of saying they say the mouth is more deadly than the weapon itself. You know what I'm saying? Certain words you say could put a
Hmm.
man pride and you know what I'm saying, just take him out of his element. And it looked like Ryan was getting took out of his element, and that's when the bodyguard moved out the way. B Hop got right there just to try to gain some, you know what I'm saying, intimidation factor on Tank. He put his hand on him like, hey, I'm right here. Because you remember Tank, the same one threw Rolly off the stage. So
Correct.
B Hop being right there could have been some type of method that he had just in case Tank was about to. He seen that fire in his eye right there. It's like, hey, let me control this boy with my hands and my posture. And you hear bigger dude. Tank is 5'5". B Hop like 6'3". You know, so it takes just a touch right there to try to mentally break Tank or just to get him back off a little bit.
Go ahead, man. Chaos Balance. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Hey,
listen,
good point though, Jay. Good point though, man.
Coach Malachi hit the nail on the head when he said that he went to the black barbershop and it was buzzing. Then he went to the Dominican barbershop and it was buzzing. Everybody wants to attach themselves to something. Everybody wants to associate themselves to something. And when you have that, that's what creates the buzz. Now, you have the Dominican barbershop. If I had to bet my life, I guarantee you most of them were going with Garcia. But what attachment do Dominicans have with Garcia? Dominican Republic is an island. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia is American and he doesn't talk Spanish. The attachment is Garcia. Okay, wait, hold on. Well, if he's Spanish, that's who I'm rocking with. I don't care if he doesn't speak Spanish. That I could associate myself with him, and that's who I'm going with. You know, um, that's what makes boxing what it is. I've said that it's hard to push black fighters when they fight each other. But on the flip side, if it was just Mexican fighters fighting Mexican fighters, that would be a hard sell too. You know what I'm saying? And it's a
I mean,
fact.
isn't that what about the Mexican style though? They love seeing two Mexicans, Mexicans fight each other because of the violence the chaos and mayhem that it brings, man. They
But
go
then,
Be
all out,
real.
mano
The
a mano.
Mexican fight,
hold on.
they don't hit.
So
Go
then
ahead.
name me two Mexican fighters that have fought each other that have been blockbuster fights.
Now I'm not talking about blockbuster. I'm just talking about, I say mid-tier entertainment value for people to speak on. Because how many blockbuster fights do we get? Period. Forget Mexicans. How many blockbuster fights do we get in boxing? Period. We barely
We
get
get a
them.
lot of them. No, we
How?
get.
How?
I'm gonna say
Who?
we get a lot of them. Like you
Who?
gotta understand. You got
We talking
when
about
every time
blockbuster, bro. Blockbuster.
blockbuster fight. Okay, look at Devin Haney versus Cambosa. That ain't two Mexicans fighters.
That was a block.
I keep going down the
That
list.
wasn't blockbuster.
Name
Jay.
a. It was a pay per view event though.
But that's not blockbuster though. It can be a lot of pay-per-view events where it's not blockbuster. We thought David Benavidez and Caleb Plant would be a blockbuster, but it wasn't. We talking about Canelo, Caleb Plant. It wasn't. What can be a blockbuster fight? We got to go up to the heavyweight. Wilder and Fury. That turned into some blockbusters, a couple of blockbusters here and there. But on the mid weight classes to lower, who was blockbusters, man? Who can you say that was blockbusters?
It's
Even
not
in the welterweight, junior
it's
welterweight.
it's not there because, like I said, everybody wants to attach themselves to something. I'll put it to you like this: when Ali fought Frazier, you could attach yourself. You know what I'm saying? You could either go, with Frazier, or you could go with Ali. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the people were attaching themselves to. You know what I'm saying? If you were about, freedom and you were about, trying to uplift trying to uplift yourself, you were with Muhammad Ali. If you were, about, American, this great country of ours can do no wrong, you were with, Joe Frazier. And I'll give you another fight where there was a huge difference, and it was a blockbuster fight. Cotto versus Judah. Cotto versus Judah was blockbuster. It was a blockbuster fight because, like I said, everybody wants to attach themselves to something. It's your Superman versus my Superman. Who is going to win? And that's why this fight between Ryan Garcia and Tank has gotten the steam that it's gotten. You know, I've had females hit me up on my phone. Yo, where's the fight party? Everybody knows that if there's females involved in boxing, yo, it's selling. It's selling. You know what I'm saying? People have said that they've gone to Tank fights, and they've said that they went to the Barclays, and the women that went to that fight, they were like, yo, drop dead gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. If females are involved, blockbuster. It's gonna be blockbuster. You know, there has to be a difference. There has to be a difference for it to be a deciding factor. It has to be some type of difference. You know, when Sugar Ray Leonard fought Marvin Hagler, it was good versus evil. You know what I'm saying? You chose which side you wanted to be on. But, you know, people want to see a difference. They don't want to see something that's somewhat the same. And, you know, once again, the problem with Errol Spence and Bud Crawford is they're somewhat alike. You know, they're not boisterous. They don't, you know, I mean, they just.
But who's good and who's evil in that matchup?
Between
Spence and Crawford. Who's the good and evil?
To be honest,
Bud's gonna be the evil for sure. I'm gonna just going off where his character is, how he move on Twitter and Instagram. Bud, if you look at all the interactions they do got when they go live, Crawford kind of seems like he's trying to bully. Errol just like the laid back Texas dude that like, hey, bro, you know you don't want to fight with me, bro. That's what he really be saying. Come on, bro, sign the paper. Go talk to Al. That's all he really be saying. He don't say, oh, your teeth messed up. Oh, look at your skin dark. He don't say nothing. Bud, the one who be trying to say, oh, look at your body. You ain't, you know. So I get Bud the bad. He the villain for sure.
Well, that nigga Bud said, look at you fat. Grab that man body and everything. You fat, man. You out of shape.
I mean, is that villain or that's just being complimentary and let you know, hey, I'm just telling you some truth about you?
They still neither of them has assumed that role. They haven't.
Yeah.
Neither of them has assumed that role. You have to assume a role. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have said, "Oh, yo, that's selling out." You know, this is boxing. No, you look. You have to sell yourself. That's it. At the end of the day, you know what? Boxing takes a back seat. The money comes first. The money comes first. In order to make that money, you got to sell yourself. You know what I mean?
But look,
that's why, you know, Devin is in the situation that Devin's in, because he's a hard sell. That's why nobody, you know, gives him the respect that he deserves. Look what Devin said. Who does Devin want to win? Who does Devin want to win? He wants Ryan to win. Basically, he's not telling you he wants the best man to win, because on paper, Tank is the best man.
Hey, that's the same for Shakur. Shakur says Ryan gonna win. And then you have all these other fights talking about Ryan gonna win. You know why? Because they don't like Tank. They don't like Tank, dog.
And guess
that
what?
is the biggest hypocrisy.
Tank was gonna win 3 months ago. He said he don't see Ryan win. See, that's why I say Shakur, he seemed like a media hog. He wants to hog the narrative, make himself relevant while he's not fighting. He lost his belts on the scale. I'm just looking at it from the outside looking in. He the same guy that said he saw Ryan Garcia footwork looking nasty. He don't think he could really handle old boy Tank. Tank gonna knock him out. Then he go double back. Once Tank calls him a bum ass dude on Twitter, he switched sides. So is he really switching sides because skill wise, or is he switching sides because he's pissed off at Tank? I know deep down, you know what I'm saying? It's just he goes back and forth. Oh, he gonna win. No, he gonna win. Oh, forget him. I think he gonna take him out. He really can't trust his word now.
And also, if you talk about not trusting word, we can't trust Ryan either. Even though people think he can't do no wrong, he did the same thing to Canelo. They asked him who they think who is gonna win between Canelo and Triple G. We know a Triple G like 56 and a half years old. And Ryan Garcia said, I'm going for Triple G. I think he's gonna win. He's a better overall boxer. We know that was this animosity from what Canelo said about him.
Listen, Shakur, now that you guys brought up Shakur is the perfect example of trying to push yourself in regards to differentiation. You know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevenson, he's from Newark, New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have any type of dealings with his father, and I'm not going to say all of a sudden because I don't want to disrespect Shakur. You know what I'm saying? But he's trying to say now that, I'm going to rep my Puerto Rican roots. The reason why I feel that he's doing that, he's trying to tap into something. He's trying to tap into another outlet. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's smart. I think it's genius. He is half Puerto Rican, man.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
I think it's no. I'm not going against what you're saying, Chaos. I'm just saying it's cool. I think it's cool for him to do that.
Correct. And look. At the end of the day, you want to differentiate yourself because once again, everybody wants to attach themselves to something. He could be the next Carmelo Anthony. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, Carmelo Anthony doesn't really publicize it. You know what I'm saying? But he goes to Puerto Rico all the time. He's in Puerto Rico all the time. He's with the people. You know what I'm saying? He's doing on food drives, clothes drives. And they have a lot of love for him out there.
He ain't Puerto Rican, is he?
Carmelo Anthony, yeah, he has Puerto Rican blood.
Oh, so him and Lala was Puerto Rican, and people thought they was both black. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's a fact. Carmelo Anthony has Puerto Rican blood in him. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
But once again, the problem with the Bud and Spence fight is they're too alike. What made Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler so big? Because they were the exact opposite. They were the opposite. What made Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran so huge? They were opposites. You know what I'm saying? Look, and I always talk about the business side of boxing, but that's the most important side. That's the most important side.
Yeah. Both guys don't talk a lot either.
You're
right about that.
The business side is the most important side because if the business side was taken care of between Spence and Crawford, we would have had a third fight. Somebody has to assume the good guy, and somebody has to assume the villain. You know what? It could be as easy as Spence saying, "Yo, bro, listen, man, you're a drunk, you're an alcoholic, man. You go outside of your marriage. You're not about this life." He has to be vocal about it. He has to be the Clubber Lang. He has to be the Mr. T. You know what I'm saying? But it's everybody loves the circus, man. Everybody loves. Listen, I'm gonna put it to you like this: a person became president because of the circus. Everybody loves the circus. The circus is what sells. And there's
unfortunately, that is true. We did get a president off the circus.
There is no circus between between Bud and Spence. And and I'm gonna say another thing. Everybody has a fascination with the villain. When Deontay Wilder, when his narrative was being pushed that he was a truck driver for Anheuser-Busch, for Budweiser, and he was doing this for his daughter. Hey, listen, it was morally nice, but he wasn't creating the buzz when he went over to the dark side where he is right now. Right now, look, Jadakiss said it best. Denzel had to become a bad guy in order to win an Oscar. These are all things that are proven. They're facts. These are things that sell. You know what I'm saying? The reason why when a black fighter fights a Latino fighter, why is it so big? Because of the difference, and everybody wants to attach themselves to it. That's why this fight has caught the storm that it has caught, and that's why Devin rather have Ryan. That's why Shakur rather have Ryan, because all they see is the dollar signs. That's all they see. Ryan is just a dollar sign.
Hey, let me add this in real quick. This little off subject, you know what I'm saying? But check this out. I noticed Anthony Joshua taking Earl Spence trainer. I feel like that's him trying to distance himself from an average UK fighter. He's trying to elaborate his style. If you know anything about Houston, Texas, like that's where his camp at. You got so many UK fighters that don't ever experience to fight Aqua fighters that come from out here. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he wants to change himself from just being a flat-footed UK fighter. Because I ain't dogging UK fighters; they got good fighters, but it's something different when you come to America and you train out here, and compared to when you stay in the UK, train in the UK, fighting just those type of fighters.
In regards to Joshua, I think Joshua is at a point in his career that he's desperate and he's lost, and he needs to find himself. He came over to the US. Maybe it's too late. Um, I don't know what he has to do. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's something missing. Maybe he needs a therapist, psychological help. I don't know what it is. But you know what? They were telling him for the longest, yo, you got to come to the US, man. Yo, you got to come to the US. You got to switch it up. He didn't want to do it. He was comfortable. He wanted to be comfortable around his people. He wanted to be comfortable with his yes men, And now he decided to come over to take a chance with Derrick James, who doesn't have a heavyweight pedigree. You know what I'm saying? It's a totally different ball game when you're training, middleweights, and you're training, welterweights. Now you're training a heavyweight, and Derrick James doesn't have that experience. Did Anthony Joshua pick Derrick James because he could kind of maybe sort of, tell him what to do? You know what I mean? Why not, get a trainer? I don't even know, man. I mean, Emmanuel Stewart is gone. Tyson Fury is still with Emmanuel Stewart's nephew. I totally forgot his name right now. Wow. What's Emmanuel Stewart's Tyson Fury's trainer?
You talking about Sugar Hill?
Sugar Hill. Sugar Hill is tied up, with Tyson Fury. I mean, what trainer of a heavyweight caliber, can AJ attach himself to? You know what I'm saying? I still feel that he could sort of, sway Derrick James, because Derrick James doesn't really have that type of pedigree. All he has is he has Charlo, and he got Spence. He doesn't. He's a young trainer. AJ, AJ is I mean, he's on the downslope, and it's sad because you know what? This is what might make the Deontay Wilder fight. Instead of, he should have fought Deontay when he was up on the high horse, where it would have been, mega dollars, and it would have been great for the culture of boxing. Now the fight might happen where AJ's on the downslope.
How we get on Joshua again? I stepped away. How we get on Joshua?
Oh yeah, because I was saying basically, some people want, like how Chris Stevenson, he's trying to now claim Puerto Rican roots. Now it seems like Joshua, he's trying to appeal to a different fan base and, get used to a different style of fighters by coming to Texas, with Earl Smith's trainer. And that's different. A lot of UK fighters, they stick to their own trainers. They they stay where they stay, and they want that narrative that they better than American fighters, compared to now you're in camp with 98% of your fighters are going to be American fighters.
Yep. And another thing in the UK, if you're residing over there and you holding up residence in the UK, you can't use whatever your origin is on who you actually are. You know what I'm saying? Like Nigeria, you can't have Nigeria, you represent the UK. Let's talk about Jamaican, Dillian White. It's so many fighters that's residing and fighting over there in the UK. What flag they under? The UK. You know what I'm saying? They don't allow people to use their original home country. They don't. The red, white, and blue over there is the UK flag. You know what I'm saying? And for a long time, Joshua, you rarely seen him pretty much, reach back to his Nigerian roots, supposedly, with his father. But I agree with you. I agree with what you said. When it comes to Joshua, for a long time, even when the Deontay Wilder's negotiation and they was trying to get this man 12 million flat, 15 million flat, it seemed a bit slavish or civility to me. They was treating him like he was a subordinate. You know what I'm saying? They was treating him like he was the help instead of treating it like, oh, let's build this fight up. Let's be fair in negotiations. They somewhat was doing the same thing that we saw that was going on with Crawford Spence, so to speak. Not to the extreme, but I'm just saying Joshua always came off to me as, entitled, arrogant or whatever. And now that his career is pretty much about to expire, now he want to bring his punk ass over here to Texas and, get with Derrick James, who has 2 unified champions in his camp, clout chase that exposure that he has, went in there and look like shit still, weighed the heaviest he ever weighed in his career, and then bounce. I don't have no love for Joshua. Real talk, man. He want to bring his ass over here to the U.S. and try to scoop up some last minute motherfucking recovery time. Take your ass back over to the U.K.
We ain't gonna treat him like a token out here. He ain't gonna get that special privilege. And now he's gonna have to really his talent, put up or shut up. They was allowing him to make a pass out there. For so whatever reasons they were giving him a pass. Just because he was, I don't know. I want to say because he was a black UK fighter that was bigger than some American fighters. But now if you break him down, literally, his technique and his body posture, like, he ain't special. So it's either you want to learn how to fight for real now, learn how to box to a good standard, you know what I'm saying, fight elite class, or just what you want to do. It's basically do it right now, or you know what I'm saying, because you're going to waste your time. Go back to the UK and you can really knock some people out. It ain't hard knocking out some UK fighters. I noticed that. I can go out there, you know what I'm saying, grab a couple of heads and come back with a bigger resume and be like, hey, I'm this. It wouldn't even matter. I feel like them fights, they wash. It's more a popularity thing than skills.
Switching it back up to, Spence and Crawford, when you talk about their careers, you have, the two sides. You have people that are diehard Spence fans, and then you have people that are diehard Crawford fans. This is how I see the difference in both of them. It's resume versus trophy / hardware. There's a lot of people that are going to say that I'm crazy, and they're going to argue with me. You know what I'm saying? But in my personal opinion, I think that Errol Spence has a better resume. He's fought better quality of opposition. That's my opinion. But when it comes to accolades, when it comes to trophies, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to, the belts, all the belts, that's something that Crawford clearly has. Everybody's already said it. Terrence Crawford is he's a one balloter. He's going into the right now. If he stopped fighting, he's going into the the Hall of Fame. So it's basically resume versus hardware, because nobody can dispute the fact that Crawford has all the hardware. Crawford has, he's been undisputed, you know what I'm saying? And it's really that, man. They're gonna have to sit down, and they're gonna have to make the difference in between them and go with that. If and they're gonna have to get down and dirty. They're gonna have to get down and dirty to build that thing going on. They're gonna have to build that Sugar Ray Leonard versus Tommy Hearns. That Sugar Ray.
Who the A side?
I'm gonna have to.
Out of them two, who the outside? At the A side.
I'm gonna give you my personal opinion. The A side, in my opinion, would have to be Errol Spence. That is my opinion. That's who the A side.
All right, now let me say this: who's been more active? That's just in my opinion. I'm gonna choose the more active fighter. Vince, to me, honestly, ain't been active enough for him to be the A side. When I say active, I'm looking at. Let's look at their last 5 fights. Crawford has shown way more activity. So I'm going to give him the A side. Vince been taking the back seat for a minute. Online, Twitter, internet, yeah. But what has he been doing last 5 fights?
I understand what you're saying. And you know what? Terrence Crawford has been more active, but now you know what you're gonna talk to a diehard fan, and a diehard fan is gonna tell you, okay, so then guess what? You know what? Bud is giving you quantity, but Errol Spence is giving you quality. You know what I'm saying? Because this last fight was Ugas, and Ugas beat the great Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean?
Ugas is on his way out
Well,
to
listen,
the nursing home though.
listen.
Let's be
Regardless,
real. Like he didn't beat up Ugas in the prime. Come on, man. Ugas
no. Listen, I
he
agree.
been tap dancing on the edge of a cliff for how many years now?
See,
I'm gonna be real.
I'm gonna tell you right now. That's the problem with what's going on with this fight. You know what I'm saying? People are so bent up on their side, they're not even willing to give that other side its true accolades. We're talking about two elite fighters. These fighters are both elite. You just can't say, well, I'm going for Crawford and Spence ain't never done nothing. No, that's a lie. If you say that, you're lying to yourself. These are two great combatants. You know what I'm saying?
But that's a conversation you gotta have to determine a side. You have to you gotta put them side to side. That's right there is only way. I'm not saying he's a trash fighter. I ain't gonna say he can't box. That'd be crazy.
I'm not saying that you're saying, No, I'm not saying that you're
yeah.
But the overall, that's why they you have the I mean, what's the word? The Spencerites, whatever the words that they call them. You know what I'm saying? That all they see is Spence, and they don't even want to look at the accolades that Bud has. You know what I'm saying? You got to see you got to see this fight for what it is. We're talking about two greats, but they don't see it that way. Who's ever on Bud's side, all they do is shit on Errol. No, man, these are two great fighters. They're great fighters. They're both Hall of Fame fighters. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about a man who is one of the best switch hitters, that boxing history has ever seen. The best switch hitter is Marvin Hagler, and now they're saying that Bud Crawford is right behind him. You know what I'm saying? Then you have a person like Errol Spence, who has dominated his division for such a long time. You're talking about two of the best fighters, and the problem is that their fans are jaded.
How much time Jay got? Will this fight be big in the next 5 years? Let's say it don't happen this year. It don't happen next year. In the next 5 years, would this Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford live up to the bill? Will it be needed still in 5 years?
This fight today is not what it was yesterday. It's losing every day that passes, it loses buzz. This is my opinion. You know what I mean? And I could tell you why I feel that way. The reason why I feel that way, because you have these two young bucks that are look, that's what we're talking about. That's what everybody's talking about. These two young bucks. Everybody's talking about the Shakurs. Everybody right now is talking about the four kings, when it's really not four kings. It's really three kings. You know what I mean? So every day that passes, the clock is ticking. You know what I'm saying? What do people what do they associate this fight with? Oh, when are we gonna get it? Are we gonna get it when Pacquiao fought Mayweather? Is that what we're gonna get? Where they're both in a wheelchair? The clock is ticking, and people are starting to see it like the Deontay Wilder AJ. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they kept messing around. And now look what happened. Every day that passes, the fight loses steam, because there's so much going on in boxing right now. There's so much going on in boxing. They should have fought. It should have been their third fight. They should have been their third fight. A lot of people get on Errol because it seems like Errol is being greedy.
Hold on. You say third fight. This should have been their third time fighting each other?
Correct.
Trilogy? Nah. I'm gonna stop you right there, brother. This fight, Earl versus Terrence, is gonna be a one fight. It needed to be one fight. If these both of them guys, I feel like, can damage each other's career. When I say damage career, even health, safety, life. That ain't like Canelo, Triple G. You can put them in the ring 20 times and they'll still be okay. You put Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford in the ring more than one time, brain damage will be done. I'm not gonna say on who part, but them is giants to clash multiple times. I don't see it, bro.
I could tell you
Especially at their age they at right now. Nah,
who's
man.
I could tell you who's part. I could tell you who's part. That's only, and this is based on fact. This is based on fact. Okay. When you have a detached, when you've gotten a detached retina, you know what I'm saying? If you have trauma to that eye, the chances of you having a problem with that eye are more likely. You know what I mean? Getting into the type of vehicle accident that Errol Spence got into, that's not good for his career. Doing the damage that Errol has done to his career, you know, in regards to, you know, his extra, you know, curricular activities, you know, drinking and all that. Boxing is one of those sports that, you know, it's combat sport. It's a combat sport, and you have to live that you have to live close to that perfect life. You know what I'm saying? Because your body is your weapon. So right now, yeah, it is a one fight deal, because, you know, if you had to think about it, the one who's going to end up their body more damaged it's going to be Errol. It's definitely going to be Errol, because he has more mileage in his engine because of what he's done outside the ring, you know. But how many years has this fight, have we been talking about this fight? How many years?
Yeah, I've heard multiple people say that they feel like this by now, at this point, these dudes should have already fought 3 times. You know what I'm saying? Well, 5 years gone past, these niggas should have already had a trilogy. You know what I'm saying? That's the stance I feel a lot of people, well, I've heard a few people say, you know what I'm saying, that that's what we should be getting, but instead we doing all these theatrics and all
I
that
mean,
shit. Hey,
it's
real
been
quick, shout
on.
out Cam, man. Cam, I
Yeah,
see you, boy. Yeah.
yeah, it's been too long, man. I mean, that's the number. It's been too many years we've been talking about this fight, you know, and yeah, we pretty much rehashing when it comes to this topic even coming on YTC. We pretty much rehashing everything that's done taking place. That was a good point though when it comes to the A side. I don't think I never looked at it that way about the A side of who's been active over the past several years, vice who is actually carrying more hardware. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to it, on that side with Al Heyman, man, whoever's been active and inactive ain't gonna matter. They still gonna look at Errol Spence's carrying the hardware. That's just the way he is. Al Heyman ain't out here to give prizes. Look what happened when Bud stepped in there for the first negotiation, the real negotiation. They wasn't trying to give that man hardly anything. So they definitely not gonna look at him as being the A side because of his activity. But it was a solid point, though. You know what I'm saying? That shit was a solid point.
Check this out. Let's just say if Bud, let's say Bud or Earl, either or of them. Let's say one of them decide they want to move forward with their career, because this is like a shadow, a cloud that ain't going away. I'm talking like, if I'm in their shoes, man, it's gonna happen right now. Or you know what? I'm gonna move forward with my career. What they gonna say once that announcement is, I'm just move forward in my career? Oh, you ducking? Fans ain't gonna let either of them live. Oh, you ducking? You ducking? I just want to move forward. They both gotta mutually agree. You know what? This shit would have been a good fight, but you know what? It's just politics of it that got in the way. We both gonna move forward. But if one say, "Hey, I'm gonna move forward, leave it alone," oh, he's ducking him. He's ducking him. He's scared. Oh yeah, I knew you was.
Well, both of them old now.
Yeah,
You know, Crawford old now too, dog. You know, like if Crawford say I'm moving forward because I don't have much time left in my career at 36 years old, about to be, like, they can say what they want, but he's up there now.
I'm saying, will they watch his next fight though? That's what I'm saying. Like, he could say it, but will it damage him? That's what I'm saying. Will it be damaging if he says he's gonna move forward? It don't matter who he decides to fight next. If it ain't Earl, we don't want to watch it. I've seen dudes that say, "Hey, I'm not ordering no Terrence fight unless he's fighting Bud. Unless he's fighting Spence. I'm not watching him no more." They don't care. He fight the champion in Africa, the champion in Zimbabwe, the champion in Australia. It ain't Spence. Oh, we ain't watching it. You ducking.
I mean, but what options? Listen, if they don't fight each other, what options do they really have? The only option they have is to go, up to 154. Now it's going to be a race, You know what I'm saying? To try to get that undisputed belt. Who's gonna beat the other guy to that belt at 154? Because all these young, what happens if one of them fights Boots and Boots takes him out? It could happen. Virgil Ortiz, you know what I'm saying? You're talking about, if you don't handle your situation, with this other guy, you know what I'm saying? If these two don't handle their situation, they're gonna have to deal with these young bucks, which they're not gonna get paid. They're not gonna make the money, you know what I'm saying, that they should be making, you know what I'm saying? And if they take that loss is gonna cost them a lot. That's a heavy loss for them to take. So I really don't know what the issue is with either of them. Once again, they have to realize that the clock is ticking, and it's just one of those things that, they're on course. They're on course to fight each other. I honestly do feel that, Bud made a mistake leaving Top Rank. That's my personal opinion, because I feel that if he would stay with Top Rank, they would have found a way to make the fight, because they have the experience and they have made the mega fights. They've worked with Don King, you know what I'm saying? They've worked with Al Heyman, but for whatever reason, Bud wasn't happy and he wanted to become a free agent. And I think him becoming a free agent hurt his career.
I mean, they was criticizing for being with Top Rank and the fight wasn't made. So he said, if they couldn't make the fight while I was with them, they can't make it while I'm not with them. You know what I'm saying? So he had to get up out of there because people was criticizing the shit out of him. You know what I'm saying? They's already calling, racial slavish names anyway about Top Rank Toby on here and all this other stuff. But, he had to make a move one way or the other and kind of take control of his career, because a lot of times, right? Like you look at Bud Crawford, who hasn't been user friendly with the media. He has to make a decision on how did he close out his career, and closing out his career means potentially fighting Errol Spence. We know that. So if he wasn't able to get the fight with Top Rank while he was with Top Rank with Errol Spence, he has to go to plan B, in my opinion. It's time. It's still time, because look, we all know, regardless if you 35, 36, if you preserve your body the correct way, it can have you transition into the latter years, like 40s, early 40s and stuff. We've seen it play out. We've seen that play out. So with him leaving Top Rank, man, it was good for him to take a stance on his career, to move forward, attempt to move forward. He went into the negotiations dolo. He learned some things. He found out they was going to play hardball and they was going to have him take the minimal. But I think at the end of the day, I think he did some respectable shit when it comes to leaving Top Rank and trying to go over there to PBC and negotiate the fight. Now, if by chance they still in negotiations or they restart negotiations and he's not signed with Golden Boy, I think people are going to salute him a little bit different now if he's able to make this fight without Golden Boy. Because is he signed with Golden Boy yet? Anybody know? Has he signed with Golden Boy?
Who?
Huh?
Who signed with Golden Boy?
Crawford. Has Crawford signed with Golden Boy or something like that? You remember when they was making a big deal of him taking a picture with him?
I hope not, because I got some news on Golden Boy, how they treat their black fighters. Yeah, they got a black fighter. Y'all didn't even know that. Some people didn't know that they had a black fighter.
I mean, a lot of black fighters used to be with Golden Boy back in the day. That's why Leonard Ellaby said that we took all your fighters. It used to be a lot of black fighters at Golden Boy back in the day.
No, I'm saying they had an undefeated one.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you remember Travell Maison. He was Golden Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Passed recently in a car crash. De La Hoya didn't write nothing on Twitter. It took 2 days. Earl Spence said, man, rest in peace to the young cat with Golden Boy. Crazy, your own man don't want to give you a tribute. Then you see on the Golden Boy page, they gave a condolence to the family. But this man was undefeated. Earl Spence noticed it in 2 days, said, come on, bro, something ain't right. And
I mean, that's one
Boy.
black fighter. I mean, I'm not disputing what you're saying, okay? I'm just saying if it was something there for me to dispute, like for one black fighter, okay, one black fighter signed with Golden Boy, What are they supposed to do? Like, we don't know the relationship that they had together. I mean, boxing dark like that. Boxing has dark places like that, right? You know what I'm saying? You talking about people getting hit in the head, man. I don't know what relationship he had with the fighter for him not to put him out there in tribute. I can't call it, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know why he didn't put him out there and give him a tribute. Because yeah, it's supposed to be some type of freaking respect in the time of death, posthumous respect, right? But I don't know what type of relationship they had. I don't, man. Are we gonna, Al Heyman? If his fighters get into some type of situation, have we ever heard Al Heyman? When Errol Spence had his accident, what do we hear from Al Heyman? Anything?
Nothing.
I don't remember hearing anything from no Al Heyman.
TMZ, you're right. He didn't say nothing. Maybe he didn't say nothing. You're right, because if I to protect his fight or protect the public image, TMZ posted.
Yeah, but I did hear Al Heyman got him out of that trouble though. So I don't know how much he in for, and with Al Heyman for, but I do know that it's been said behind the scenes that Al Heyman helped him get out of that situation. It could have been way worse for him, but Al Heyman being the attorney, top 3 graduate at Harvard, he did pull some strings to get Errol Spence, a little bit more leniency in that situation. It could have been jail time or whatever. That's just what I heard.
That's because Errol Spence skill level. Let's be real. Earl was a bomb fighter under Al Heyman. He wouldn't did all that pull, but that's who we say. It's who you know, and what you do for that person, who you know. Guarantee if Spence wasn't the caliber fighter he was, and he seen this fight, this accident could be recovered from, he looked at his bag. Money signs flashed in his head. Okay, let me get him out of this situation. It's going to profit me. So, you know what? I got him. But let one of his legs, he lost a leg in that situation. I'll try to help him out legally. He's useless in the ring. So it was a business move. That's why I look at it. I didn't look at it like a personal friendship. Oh, because I got love for you. Like, it's all about them dollars.
Yeah. They shout to Marlon King Boxing. $2 super chat on deck. Listen in, WCS. I appreciate you, brother. One love to you. Thanks for the supporting the channel. That Marlon King Ron is in the building. Yeah, man. It's I don't know, man. It's a touchy situation. I commend Bud for leaving Top Rank. I like Top Rank as a promotion. I do. I never quite understood why people was making it about race, Sanders, or plantation, because I've been over there. I've talked to Bob. Like every time I cover a fight, it's conversation I had with Bob that's now on camera. I just don't get it, man. That's the triple OG, man. He came up through the Don King, him and Don King. Both of them dudes survived each other. They did not like each other, man. I mean, we're talking about coming up when boxing was a whole lot different than it is now. And for them to say what they say, I see too many black fighters over there having a good time at Top Rank. Real talk. I see too many, man. Like, that's one of the easiest promotions to cover a fight. Very well organized. You can communicate with the staff. I mean, come on, it's nowhere close to PBC, man. And I ain't just saying that because I cover both of them. I'm just saying that. Top Rank, man, they got black fighters everywhere over there, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, they got Keyshawn.
But let me ask you a question, Combat. Where did that comment, Top Rank Toby, come from? Did it come from old media? Or did it came
from the YTC on this platform, this social media platform. They're the one that was pushing the Top Rank Toby over here.
There you go. And that's the root of all evil. Because you know what people don't seem to understand is they love using that old media. Yo, they're full of shit. They don't know what's going on. But you know what? Not everybody has the integrity that you have. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to make up a YouTube following and lie to them. You know what I'm saying? And then guess what, man? What's a lie? All you need is somebody to believe you, and that lie becomes the truth. You know? And not that I want to start no beef, but you know, that's what happened between Marty, the manager, and Blue Blood Sports. He got called out on his bullshit. You know? Old media, you know, you have somebody like Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith had to go to school. He went to school, you know what I'm saying? He studied his profession. Then once he studied his profession, okay, he went to work for reputable journalistic outlets, right? Where you're watched. You're watched. You have somebody watching you. And you just can't pull bullshit out of your ass. Because guess what? If you pull bullshit out of your ass, you're going to be homeless. You're not going to have a job because you have somebody that you have to answer to. But when you become a YouTuber, you could say whatever you want. You could invent any single lie. And if people believe you, they believe you. That's what's wrong with the YTBC. And the easiest way to do it, what's the word that they use? When they have somebody and they can't disclose the person, what is the word that they love using?
The sources.
Yeah, I can't disclose my sources. Man, that gives you the legal right to lie. That's the legal, I can't disclose my sources. You know what, man? Then that means you're full of shit. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about you look at Stephen A. Smith, man, all of his accolades, man. You know what I'm saying? He's worked for prestigious journalistic outlets. You know what I'm saying? And he is a credible source. He is a credible source. You know, you can't compare a Stephen A. Smith to, you know, I'll even go there, to a blue blood. You can't. You can't compare somebody who actually, you know, honed his skills, years of going to school, years of working for professional journalistic outlets where he was being watched. You know what I'm saying? He was being watched. He had a boss that was supervising him. Oh, you got a story? All right, let me see what's going on. Yo, they read your story. Then he gets the green light. Okay, now you get the green light. Boom. That's what, you know, builds integrity. You know, that's what makes you a credible source. But when you're just pulling shit out your ass, you know what I'm saying, for likes, for super chats, you know, that's the problem with the YTBC. That's why, you know, and the sad thing is, the top ranked Toby, that was coming from us, me, brown skin, black skin, his own people. His own people. So they'll bullshit you and be like, nah, we're doing this for us, man. Yo, believe us, man. We're doing this for us. We're doing this because, you know, all the things that happen to black fighters. But they'll be the first ones to hit him over the head with the shovel and try to bury him. And that's what's going on right now in the YTBC. You know, you got all these dudes, you got all these pimps looking for somebody to hoe out. You know, at the end of the day, Deontay Wilder, and you know what? It really hasn't blown up. It really hasn't blown up. But you know what? If they really look in Deontay Wilder's career, the organization that he moves with is going to hurt his career. It's going to hurt his career. Right now, if they did a special on Deontay Wilder, 60 minutes, and you hear that stopwatch clicking, click, 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 and they start asking them, oh, Mr. Wilder, let me ask you a question. You know, the head of this organization that, you know, you associated yourself with, and you only gave them interviews, it is said that he used to mistreat women. What do you say to that? What is Deontay going to say? Abused women. Pimped women out.
Yeah, it's definitely, you know, it's different type of damn flow for everybody. You're right. It can be controversial on a lot of stuff, depending on the fighter's name, for sure. You know what I'm saying? That's without saying. Shout out to Samad Warren, Cooking with Sir Senior on deck. Once again, shout out to Martin King with the $2 super chat. You know, shout out to Big Blunts and Boxing, who's on the panel, and Captain Chaos. But it's already 4 in the Eastern Standard Time. I gotta get off, I can return, because fights gonna be popping off in about 3 to 4 hours, dog. You know what I'm saying? I gotta take a break, shut this down, and then return, man. Else I'm gonna be on this mug for 10 hours, dog.
Word. Salute, OG. I'm gonna see you.
No, man. Hey, appreciate y'all for pulling up, though. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know what it is, man. Big salute to these content creators on here, especially Big Blunts, who be dropping stuff behind the scene. Captain Chaos, a firm supporter of WCS. I appreciate you, bro. True Media Today, USA Boxing. Coach Malachi was in the building earlier. Jay, salute to you. Appreciate you. Hey, we'll do it later on, man. I'll be back on here. It's fight night, man. We're gonna settle the score and see who's what. We're gonna see if it's some shockers. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see what it is. And also Blunts, we're gonna see if he changes levels and become a part of the anointed as he try to hold his ground on the announcement. Can this announcement happen tonight? You know what I'm saying? Hey, is it gonna be anything? If Crawford and Spence is in the building, is it anything that we don't know? Because they pretty much shut it down. Stephen Espinosa shut it down. But is it a possibility that Spence Crawford both in the building and they call them to the ring to talk about negotiations? If they go up there and say something to the extent like, "Hey, we in talks. What you heard is true. We in talks. Nothing's finalized right now, but maybe a couple of weeks from now, you're gonna hear something." Because look, people, it's April 22nd. Crawford's supposed to do something with his damn WBO. He's supposed to have a mandatory. So we're gonna hear something coming up. It may not be tonight, but we got to hear something that's going on. All right. Appreciate y'all. Salute. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports, man. I'm out.